How about Steve? Okay. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. If you'd be kind enough to take your seats. The September 16, 2009 meeting of the City Council is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. These proceedings are being presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 and are closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers. The council meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, can be viewed on the city's website at www.kclv.tv. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 and the web the Wednesday of the meeting at 8 p.m. and also on Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 1 p.m. For those who were here earlier, you heard me make this announcement. We make it as a matter of course. This building has a state-of-the-art fire and suppression sprinkler system. Should alarms activate, please leave through the exits. Our marshals will tell you when it's safe to return. Once again, it's just a cautionary instruction, and in no way do we believe that will ever take place. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given this morning by Pastor Edgar Garcia, Iglesias Piedra Angular, Cornerstone Christian Fellowship. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, Pastor Garcia will offer the invocation in English and Spanish, and after the invocation, please remain standing for our pledge.
Dear Heavenly Father, Padre Bueno, te damos gracias esta mañana. Father, we thank you this morning, and I pray for your grace, your wisdom, for the mayor and this council. Oramos, Señor, pidiéndote gracia y favor para este concilio, para nuestro mayor, Señor. I ask that you lead them, that you give them wisdom to handle all matters this day. Pido que les des gracia y sabiduría para manejar todos los asuntos este día. In Christ Jesus our Lord. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the ceremonial portion of our agenda, and the first item is to recognize the September Employee of the Month, and I'd like to ask Jorge Cervantes, Director of the Public Works Department, to join us up here, and I'm proud to announce that the September Employee of the Month is Carolyn Cavanes. Carolyn? Carolyn is a right-of-way agent, too, with the Engineering, Planning, and Right-of-Way Division of the Department of Public Works. She's been with the city since September of 1990. Carolyn's a true team player. She has a superior work ethic and supports her fellow employees, and she works diligently to keep the City of Las Vegas public rights-of-way and easement vacations up to date. In addition, she's taken on a special assignment to organize and scan documents to ensure that the division's historical records are correct. She also has accepted the responsibility of acting as a mentor to student interns. Her thoughtfulness towards her fellow employees has greatly contributed to the creation of a family atmosphere in the Engineering Planning Division. This is really special. One of her acts of kindness involved a fellow employee who contracted cystic fibrosis, and the employee was unable to maintain his home or meet the daily needs of cooking or even buying groceries because of the degenerative disease from which he suffered, and Carolyn bought and cooked meals for the employee for nearly 2 years until he passed away. Carolyn's kindness and consideration for others is a model for all of us who work in the city of Las Vegas. So on behalf of the entire City Council, we'd like to congratulate Carolyn on being named the September 2009 Employee of the Month, and along with this beautiful plaque, you've received a $100 gift certificate from Visa. Has that been spent yet? I had a very bad Monday night. I didn't cover either game. I had the Chargers that had New England, and it went into the toilet. You can't help me? Oh, thank you very much. She's not as nice as I said she was. And also, we're just delighted that you're working with us. We appreciate it. Jorge?
Thank you, Mayor. I think the story the Mayor said about Carolyn Sefford really best exemplifies who Carolyn is as a person. Whether it's always willing to assist somebody and help people out, whether it's a developer wanting to come in with assistance on how to dedicate right away to the city, or it's a resident trying to figure out where their property lines are, Carolyn goes out of her way to help people out. And so I can't think of any person that merits this recognition more than her, just the inspiration that she gives to all of us around her. So Carolyn, thank you very much for being who you are and for everything you do for the city. Thank you.
I would just like to say that it is a pleasure to work for the City of Las Vegas. And I'm glad, Mayor Goodman, that I had the opportunity to work for the city while you reign as mayor. It's colorful. It's exciting. I'm also thankful to the Department of Public Works for nominating me. There are many wonderful, exciting people in Public Works that deserve this honor as well. I would especially like to thank Engineering Planning Division. They make me who I am. They're a wonderful group of people, and without them I wouldn't be standing up here. Also, I just want to say, with helping this young gentleman that passed away, there was a lot of people in engineering planning and public works that helped take care of him and helped support him. Thank you very much.
Okay, our Mayor Pro Tem Gary Reese and Councilman Ricky Barlow are going to recognize Hispanic Heritage Month.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been looking around for Rolando Lorez this morning. He's not here. The mayor had a surprise. Rolando was the first Hispanic that was in town that created a newspaper for us, a Hispanic newspaper. And the mayor had a surprise Havana cigar for him, I believe. Anyhow, we appreciate what Rolando has done for us. The City of Las Vegas helped celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month from September the 15th through October the 15th. This month-long celebration is a time to recognize the many contributions of Latinos to life in the United States and in our own community. This year, the City of Las Vegas is proud to recognize three outstanding organizations that contribute so much to the diversity and culture of our city. With the proclamations that we're going to be presenting, we have some recognition from Senator Reed and Senator Ensign. Also, it will be presented at the same time. We are also would like to remind folks that we are going to have the Heritage Parade in downtown, Hispanic Heritage Parade in downtown in October the 10th, starting at 10 a.m. on 4th Street, gas heading north. So we'd like to have all of us come out and support that if we could. Our proclamation recipients for 2009 are, first of all, I'd like to have Viviana Maynor, President, and Paulina Biggs, Honorary Consul of Chile, to step forward for the Chilean Association of Nevada. The Chilean Association of Nevada hosts several cultural events every year, including the Chilean Independence Day celebration coming up September the 27th. Not only does this event help raise funds for the association's scholarship program for local students, but there's also a great venue to showcase Chilean art, culture, music, and food for more than 1,000 families of Chilean heritage in Las Vegas. And we're tickled to death to be able to present you with these certificates and proclamations. Thank you very much. Our next recipient is the Hispanic Museum of Nevada, Lynette Sawyer. If Lynette would come up, please. This lady here may be small, but she's a bulldog, let me tell you. I've had the privilege of working with Lynette for the last 14 years here at the City of Las Vegas, and Lynette has done more for this community, Hispanic community, than any other person that I could even dare mention. She is a tremendous asset to the City of Las Vegas. The Hispanic Museum was founded in 1991, is dedicated to promoting awareness, education, and resources of the diverse Hispanic cultures and traditions. Among its many activities, the Hispanic Museum of Nevada hosts art exhibitions and receptions, the Latino Short Film Festival, the Ray Arroyo Art Scholarship and Institute of Culture, Youth Day Camp. The museum facilitates Clark County School District students to visit the Rinconcito del Art Gallery at the East Las Vegas Community Center to experience hands-on activities with featured artists and the City of Las Vegas Arts Commissions. And again, on behalf of the Mayor and City Council, is proud to present you with this proclamation and the recognition from the Senators. Thank you very, very much. Our last group is the Casa de la Cultura Hispanic Americana. Short for that is Cash Culte. Jorge Galinda, board member. I'd like him to come up, please. He's UNLV professor. Manuel Varela, board member, and Rigoberta Cardenas. This association is strategically located in the Arts District. Cash Culte has quickly become the space for thriving Latino art scenes of Las Vegas. Established in 2007, Cash Culte has exhibited the artwork of talented and dynamic local Latino artists as well as international touring collections. Cash Culte has opened its doors to the nonprofit community by offering its value for a variety of fundraising events, and most recently began offering several self-empowerment workshops in acting, writing, and music. Again, it's a great addition to the Arts District, and these gentlemen are to be commended for their hard work and their dedication to furthering the arts. And it's a pleasure that we present this proclamation and recognition from the Senators to you at this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Councilman Barlow?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And I, too, have the opportunity of recognizing some beautiful people as well representing Hispanic Heritage Month. There's no doubt the Latino community plays a very important role in the growth and success of Las Vegas. And as in every successful community, certain individuals excel and stand to represent their neighbors. Two outstanding Latinos are with us today who represent our Latino community. I'd like to ask Ms. Sandy Colin Pelton as well as Mr. Carlos Izeta to come forward and join us. To list the accomplishments of these two individuals would take hours, ladies and gentlemen. But let me just say that these two work tirelessly to support an impressive list of charities throughout the community, nonprofits, and the arts in our community. Ms. Colin Pelton donates most of her time to promote over 30 charities and causes, including the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Mr. Izeta is a psychology professor at the College of Southern Nevada and is one of the founders of the Cash Culte Gallery recognized earlier by Mayor Pro Tem. These two individuals will be serving on the National Museum of the American Latino Commission in Washington, D.C. to study the creation of a museum memorializing the contributions of Latinos in the United States. Mrs. Colin Pelton was nominated by Senator John Ensign, and Mr. Izeta was nominated by Senator Harry Reid. They will join 22 other appointed commissioners, including Desperate Housewives star Eva Longoria, and will present Congress with an extensive plan of action and recommendations for the creation of the museum in Washington, D.C. The creation of this commission is tremendous for the Latino community of Las Vegas. I am excited to know the rich history of Latinos in Las Vegas and will have a place in the National Museum of the American Latinos. And it's important to note that Las Vegas will be very well represented. Thank you so very much for all that you do for the community. Congratulations to you. And before you leave, we do have one additional certificate for you all. Okay. Make sure that we have everything. Oh, this is you. Thank you. There we go. Let's get it right. No, there we go. Thank you so very much again. All right, great. Thank you. And if all of the recipients will please come forward and stand in front of the podium to get a nice photo with the mayor and council members.
Right here?
Mayor?
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, nice to see you. That's great. Whose is this?
Thank you so much. Take care. Good to see you.
Okay. Okay, for our next item, Councilman Ross is going to honor the efforts of some very special teachers in our community. Councilman.
Thank you, Your Honor. Today, I'm proud to recognize 3 incredible educators from the Clark County School District. And we all know educators work extremely hard for our youth, dedicate their lives and their professions to educating our young people here in Clark County. And they aren't recognized enough for what they do. And so a few months ago, as you know, as council members, every month we have a Citizen of the Month from our specific wards. Well, I thought with my staff that we'd put it out to Ward 6. We'd let Ward 6 decide for us who was an outstanding citizen. There are so many of them. And we were hammered with tons of emails, and 3 certain emails stuck out in my mind. And I'd like to read one of them. The first individual I received an email about was Patrick Fitzgerald. Our cross-country coach at Shadow Ridge, Patrick Fitzgerald, really goes beyond a great coach and teacher. He is an algebra teacher as well as the cross-country coach. I've been so impressed by his commitment to the kids on the team as well as students in his classes. In math class, he really cares about whether each student knows the concept at each point. He works with them before and after school to get them solid, and he stays in constant contact with the parents to let them know how their student is doing, when they need help, and how the student is going to get that help. The cross-country runners are so lucky to have him as a coach, and actually, he is the reason that many kids do cross-country at all. Coach Fitz spends 2 weeks in July at cross-country camp in Arizona as an unpaid helper, with any team members wishing to attend. He then meets with the kids 3 mornings a week through the rest of July and 6 mornings a week through August. Cross-country season then starts in September and runs through December. Coach Fitz talks to the kids a lot about working as a team, supporting each other, working together, etc. The team becomes so close because of his example and his leadership. What really stands out about Patrick Fitzgerald is that he really cares about the kids, whether in his math class or on his cross-country team. And as a parent, I really appreciate that. Coach Fitz, can you come on down here with me, please? Give him a big round of applause. You're the man. Now, just stand here with me because I got a couple more. Now I would like to talk about, I read an email about Susan Lawton. I'm sorry. Shelley Lawton, I'm sorry. Councilman, I would like to nominate a very special second grade teacher from Schirkenbach Elementary School. Mrs. Shelley Lawton. I feel that Mrs. Lawton has truly exemplified what a great citizen is and what an impact you can have to make a difference in the community. Mrs. Lawton shared with me that there were students who attend our school that were going hungry over the weekend. These students were not getting a real meal until they returned to school on Mondays. Anyone who knows Mrs. Lawton knows that she genuinely cares about her students. Right away, she sent flyers home with all the students in the school, letting them know that she was starting a food pantry at our school. The letter sent home stated that many of the families attending Schirkenbach Elementary had been affected by the economic downfall. And if anyone could donate items listed in the letter, it would be greatly appreciated. Because of Mrs. Lawton's choice to start up organize, and volunteer running the food pantry, many have benefited. It is examples like Mrs. Lawton that go the extra mile and make a difference in our community that affects so many people positively. She deserves to be recognized for being an amazing role model and for her selfless acts of compassion for our community. Mrs. Lawton, would you come up here and join us, please? Give her a round of applause. You're incredible, and what a great example to all of us. The last email I received was regarding Assistant Principal Gwen Amy. Gwen Amy is a native Las Vegan and has spent over 30 years serving the Clark County School District. She's been instrumental in developing a random drug testing program at Centennial High School. Gwen has worked with Centennial Hills Hospital to bring in doctors to service over 400 students for physicals at a reduced cost. She also serves on a scholarship committee that assists minorities in receiving scholarships. In addition to her duties as an administrator, counselor, and teacher, Gwen volunteers her time by working with the following organizations to give back to the city of Las Vegas: Zion and Daybreak United Methodist Churches, Black Community Organizations Network, the National Bowling Association, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Valley View Golf Association, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Incorporated Committee, the Las Vegas chapter, and Les Femmes Douces. This program is designed to assist African American young ladies as they prepare to graduate from high school and enter college. These young ladies are given the opportunity to learn about politics, ethics, finances, college, public speaking, proper dress, completing job and college applications, and obtaining resumes. Gwen Amy, would you come down here, please, and join us? Give her a great big round of applause. Now, it is tough because there are so many incredible people. Thank you, Ms. Amy, for joining us. All of their families are with them today. Families, can you stand up and be recognized as well? Because you're here to support them. Stand up for a minute and say hello. Look at that. Now, that's support. That is awesome. Now, go ahead and sit down. Now, we've got a very special guest with us as well. Don't go away, Gwen. Come back up here, girl. No, not you. With us today is Ida Gaines from Senator Reed's office. Ida, would you come down here and say a few words, because I know we've got some goodies for them as well. I put you on the spot, I know it. But representing Senator Reed, and he recognizes your accomplishments as great examples to us in this community. Ida, you can help me out here.
I'm here today as to recognize Gwen Amy. Also, I've known Gwen all of her life. We were members of the same church, Zion United Methodist Church, and I've worked in the community with her, so I know of her outstanding community service. And on behalf of Senator Harry Reid and myself, I wanted to recognize her today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ida. I'm not going to let you go. And the mayor's going to kill me. You can go sit down now, Ida. Senator Reed's done. No, I'm just kidding. You want to say a few words for the students? Because you know they're going to be watching this.
To the students?
Oh, yeah.
Well, first off, I want to thank my principal, Mr. Trent Day, for recognizing my accomplishments and making me feel like a really special person. Basically, I was raised, my mom, Ruby Pilot, my father, Curtis Amy, who worked with the Boy Scouts with Herbert Booker, and my mom does a lot of things. This is just natural for me to do whatever I can to help anyone. And so it's kind of weird to get rewarded for doing what I enjoy doing. And for my kids, I just wish that they'll stay in school, do the best they can, and what I always tell them, do, put the best foot forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You can sit down, Mrs. Lawton.
I have to say just a couple comments. While I was standing here, this young lady told me that she's a daughter of a very good friend of mine. Actually, she's a friend to all of us here, and especially the city of Las Vegas. This is Bobby Nolan, City Councilman Bob Nolan's, who I took his place here at City Hall as daughter. And I think Bob Nolan was great. He brought to the community, and I know you can be proud of him as he is proud of you today.
What are you going to tell your kids? Kids at school.
I just want to say thank you very much for this award, and I truly love being a teacher. It's my heart and soul, and thank you to my wonderful principal, Ms. Karen Smallwood, for all of her support that she's given me to allow me to do the food pantry. It's been a great success, and we're going to kick it off again next month. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Coach Fitz, it's your turn. And I know some of the students in your classes, so they're going to give you a hard time from whatever you say. So what are you going to say to them?
Well, first I would say that there are thousands of teachers like us in Las Vegas, and so I appreciate receiving this as one of them, as one of the thousands that work every day as hard as I do. And to my students and my athletes, I would say, don't let up, because I'm not gonna. I'm gonna keep coming after you to work harder every day.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you very much. Thank you. And folks at home, and folks here in the audience, remember those teachers that make a difference in our children's lives, because they're out there every single day doing what they were trained to do. They don't do it for the money. They do it for the love of what they do, and they all need to be recognized. Thank you very much.
Okay. Councilman Barlow is going to introduce you to a very special young man now. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and council, and ladies and gentlemen of the audience, there are individuals that see a problem and do nothing. And then there are individuals that see a problem and jump to action. Today, I would like to recognize a true community servant. On June 27, 2009, Mr. Chaz Blunt and his mother, Crystal Griffin, witnessed a young woman lose control of her motorcycle and flip, landing on the side of the road. The woman was trapped beneath the motorcycle, and she was desperately struggling to free herself. Chaz immediately jumped from his mother's car and went over to the woman and lifted the motorcycle off of her. Chaz has remained humble from his experience, and he has been referred to as a hero by his family, friends, and officers at the scene. If you will, Chaz, please come forward. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to stand 6 foot tall and weigh 250 pounds to give back. This young man risked his life, his health, and his safety to save a life. And for that, this mayor and council would like to recognize you for your courage of being a great community servant and going out and assisting and eliciting help in someone else's need. So today, I not only would like to present you with a certificate, I would also like to present you with this city's highest honor. And this is the Medal of Honor on behalf of the City of Las Vegas for your outstanding accomplishment and selfless acts indeed. Let's give it up for Mr. Chaz Blunt, and if you will, his parents, his family, please come forward. Please come forward. Because this is to say that, are you his mother? Okay, great. Please come forward. And I would like for you to share a few words, but I would like to say this. This is a testament as to the way in which you're raising your son. And I would like to thank you for a job well done. And if you will, just please share with us just a brief moment of what took place on that day.
Chaz and I were leaving the store, and we were heading east on Craig, and we witnessed a young lady in a motorcycle accident. She had a Harley, which is very heavy, and it was 700 pounds actually. And on the westbound traffic, no one was stopping to help her after she had her accident. So I reared across the whole traffic, and by the time I got out of the car, Chaz was already out lifting the motorcycle off of her. And he's only 70 pounds. So, and it was over 100 degrees outside. And so he was able to lift off the motorcycle off her leg, her leg was wrapped in there 2 times, so she broke it in 2 spots. So we were the first on the scene, and then we had to wait for officers, and they were asking who lifted off the motorcycle, and I said it wasn't me, it was my son Chaz. So we ended up meeting Julie, that was her name, and she's a school nurse, and she's a nurse at one of the local schools. I forgot. I think it's behind Doolittle. I forgot the school. So she was very happy and honored, and I'm happy for my son and honored and grateful that he's my son.
Thank you so very much. And Chaz, I would like for you to share a few words as well, if you will.
Well, I honestly don't think it's that big of a deal. But I'm happy that people were able to recognize it. And well, the lady was very nice, and she was very grateful that I got the motorcycle off her. And I'm not like all that showy and all that about it. I try to leave it alone, but my mom thinks it's a really big deal. So, but I want to thank everybody for letting me have this honor.
Thank you. Once again, humble but mighty. So thank you so very much, Chaz. Thank you.
Okay. Congratulations. Okay, now Councilwoman Torkanian is going to present our final items at this time. Items. Yes.
Almost all of us have great appreciation for keeping America beautiful. Lady Bird Johnson started a big drive herself by the planting of flowers and trees and good landscaping across our highways throughout the United States. Jacqueline Kennedy did it through her improvement of the White House itself. Now, not all of us are in the White House that can do things like that, but we can accomplish much in our area. And there's a group called Keeping America Beautiful that works very closely within our community. And the mission of Keep America Beautiful complements the mission of the City of Las Vegas and many other agencies and organizations within the Valley, many of whom are joining the City of Las Vegas to be part of the Keep America Beautiful affiliate team. Our city's affiliate sponsorship with KAB is exciting and will be a great addition to all we do to keep our communities clean and safe. We look forward to working with the team. This is a great group of individuals who represent many wonderful agencies that have served Las Vegas for many years. And I would like to thank all of you who are here today from KAB for taking part in this program. We emphasize over and over again that working together is essential to making great things happen in our neighborhoods. And we're also grateful for KAB's vision. They've worked together on many projects with us here in the city. I'd like to call up Cecile Carson, the Director of Affiliate Certification for Keeping America Beautiful, Tyrone Thompson, and Lisa Campbell. And Cecile will explain the program and the partnership it has with Neighborhood Services.
Thank you very much. It is indeed a privilege for me to be here today to recognize the outstanding efforts of the City of Las Vegas and to welcome them to the Keep America Beautiful network. We really think of ourselves as a family that spreads from coast to coast, from New York to Los Angeles, from Houston to Chicago, and now I am very honored to be here in Las Vegas to welcome the city and especially its citizens to our program. Keep America Beautiful is dedicated to individuals who are making differences in their communities, improving them one project, one activity at a time. We focus on litter prevention, beautification, and waste reduction recycling activities. And most importantly, it's about partnerships. We're a 56-year-old organization that's a public, private, and civic partnership. And we've been working with Las Vegas as the council member said, for a number of years through the Great American Cleanup. And through the affiliation, we'll be able to offer additional services and products. This last year, Keep America Beautiful awarded over $650,000 to our affiliates in good standing and over $3 million in product and services. And also, as a recycled city employee, working with Neighborhood Services has been absolutely delightful, and I want to thank them for their participation in the program and organizing a great team that today will be receiving training, 4 hours of training on organization and resources and tools that Keep America Beautiful has to help in enhancing the already wonderful program that exists. This is the first step in a process. We'll be back to do a certification training with the group and celebrate, and then we're here for the long term to support the program. So thank you to the mayor and members of the council and to all the citizens of Las Vegas for their support already in this effort, and thanks to the team that we'll be working with later today and as we move forward with additional projects and programs for Keep America Beautiful.
I wondered if perhaps we could ask the members of the team to stand. Terry Pike from the University of Las Vegas, Nevada. Beth Berry from the Public Lands Institute, Don't Trash Nevada. Vicky Ozuna from Code Enforcement. Jocelyn Cousins, Bank of Nevada. Scott Leadham, Southern Nevada Water District. Bob McKenzie, Nevada Department of Transportation. Bob Cole and Jennifer Simich, Republic Services. And Lisa Campbell, who's our team director. And we have 3 who aren't able to be here today, Jason Stern, Scott Rutledge, and Scott Black. But is there anybody I missed off the team? Anyway, we had one left there. Yes. Okay, we now have everybody standing, and we want you to know how hard they work, and as she explains, they go through training. They're all working together to help make our neighborhood very, very beautiful. Thank you very much. And now I'd also like to, in connection with Keeping America Beautiful, recognize by the City Council someone who works in our neighborhood services, who helps all the time, every month, day in, day out, in helping keeping our neighborhoods beautiful. And that person is Jim Rankin. Would he please come up? And you know what? His wife is here today with him, and let's have it for the wives and let her come up too, please. Okay. Is your wife here? Does she want to come up, or? She's back there. She's fine. Oh, she's fine? That's what they always say, isn't it? She's fine. Okay. You know, I know that in my ward and in some of the other wards, one of the biggest things that is requested is a neighborhood cleanup. And we just had one finished recently, for example, and I think I got 6 to 8 calls or emails telling us how great it was. Thank you very much. It just means so much to us. It makes our neighborhood look so much better, and it gives us an incentive to go on and do more work. In July 2008, the City of Las Vegas Neighborhood Services partnered with Republic Services and developed a revised neighborhood cleanup program. We weren't able to keep up with everything we wanted to because of the finances and, you know, how the economy's been. But we thought by partnering with Republic that might help us some in being able to keep up the level of what we needed to do and help us with the expenses. The program was developed to streamline service delivery, reduce costs. As part of this program, cleanups were conducted in 36 neighborhoods identified as having high need. And usually it's the council person who knows, hearing from the residents, what the high need areas are. Some of the cleanups needed special attention and, quite honestly, some very, very creative ideas to implement the cleaning up of the neighborhood. So through the direction of Jim Rankin, general manager, all 36 cleanups were extremely successful. And we appreciate all that Jim and Republic Services has done to help reduce costs to the city while allowing us to continue providing a much-needed service to our community.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the council members for finding the locations that we need to go out and service. It's been a pleasure helping clean up the community. I've been here over 22 years now, and to help out these neighborhoods that have a lot of trash and debris laying around, it's very important for us to be able to provide that service and help the community out. So thank you very much.
Oh, you have it already. I'm sorry. I'm looking for it. I want to make sure he has it before he leaves, and I was looking for it. Congratulations to you, and I mean it. I get lots of calls from people who are very appreciative. They don't know who you are. They don't see all of you, but they're very appreciative. And now, lastly, I'd like to call up Chief Greg Gammon from our fire department. Fire Prevention Week is held each year during the week which contains October 9th. We're slightly late this year, but the meaning is still there. Now, that's the anniversary, October 9th, of the Great Chicago Fire, which destroyed nearly half of the city of Chicago. And rather it was Mrs. O'Leary's cow knocking over a lantern, arson, or somebody fighting and just starting a fire someplace, it didn't matter, because that devastation that was caused by that fire made our President Woodrow Wilson in 1920 start an awareness campaign, which is now the longest public awareness campaign in history. This year's theme of Fire Prevention Week is Be Fire Smart, Don't Get Burned. Burns are one of the more serious and painful injuries a person can suffer, and critical burns can last a lifetime. I know myself, I've seen youngsters in hospitals who were burned, and it's an excruciating situation they're going through, and even with the great things we can do with plastic surgery now, oftentimes they cannot correct all of the problem. Cooking-related incidents are the leading causes of burns in Las Vegas and the United States. Homes are the locations where people are at greatest risk from fire. Smoking, heating equipment, and scalds, particularly scalds for children under the age of 5, are leading causes for burns. So you know it's very important we're aware of this. It's very important that we teach our children and other adults in our family what we need to do to prevent burns. And I'm going to let Chief Gammon now tell you some more about what they do to try and help.
Thank you, Councilwoman Tarkanian, for recognizing Fire Prevention Month. Day in and day out, the most important thing that we do, and for the public and for the firefighters, is how quick can we get to your home. That's when it comes down to when you think of the fire department, that's really what you want, is if you need the fire department, how quick can we get there? But the mission of the fire service across the country and across the world isn't how quick we can get there. It's the importance of fire prevention. And not only prevention, but education. Trying to prevent, if we can prevent a fire, and if we can educate homeowners and children are a lot better at it than we are as far as knowing what to do in the event of a fire. When you read statistics across the country, much fewer kids are burned in fires because they know what to do. They listen to their teachers. We have an opportunity to reach out and to educate them. But this is a very important month for us. This is the month where we recognize our fire prevention divisions across the country. Fire prevention is one of the 4 divisions of the fire department. They're the men and women who go out every day. They inspect your businesses. They're not always welcome, but they're there to help you. They're there to point out things that you might have overlooked, things that could cause you to be trapped in a business, or help. They're offering help to help you get out of situations that you otherwise might not have been able to get out of. Our firefighters go out every day and do public awareness campaigns. We're at a school every day, at least 2 or 3 schools a day. We're doing some type of either going there or the field trip is coming to the fire stations. And this is where we educate the kids. And the kids hear it over and over again, the importance of fire prevention. So I'm thankful for this opportunity to again bring it to everyone who's listening's attention again, the importance of fire prevention and public education as far as what you can do to avoid accidents. Fires are only 7 to 8% of what your fire department does. The rest of the time is responding on medical calls. And there's a lot that you can do to prevent those type of injuries also, and keeping yourself safe. So thank you, Councilwoman Tarkanian and the council, for this recognition. And please don't forget until next September when we come back and remind you again. Hopefully you can keep this, be mindful of this each day throughout the year.
So much. And we want to give you this proclamation for the city in honor of all the work you do and to let it be known about fire prevention work. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. There we go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's not fair to these people. Yeah. Who are they? Bosis? What did they do? Okay. Okay. While we're waiting, we want to thank the Bosis group that provided the entertainment out front in the rotunda today in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. I want to thank them for a wonderful performance. We appreciate that. All right, item number 10. Any items from the morning session that the council, staff, and or the applicant wish to be stricken or held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. Our first item is item 25, modification number 4 to contract number 050051-DK, Aon S Solutions, Inc. Staff asked to strike. Item 39 is hearing to consider appeal regarding nuisance in order to comply regarding dangerous building at 3018 Ashby Avenue. The applicant requested that be withdrawn. And item 44 is 6-month review of a temporary package license. Ramsey Solomon, doing business at Super Ateca, 3140 South Valley View Boulevard in Suite 3. The applicant requests that to be held in advance until our October 7th, 2009 meeting. Are there any other items at this time, council members? Hearing none, Your Honor, I make a motion to bring these 3 items forward and take the appropriate action, please.
Ms. Meyer?
Mayor, council, could I ask that item 21 be brought forward for a correction on the agenda?
Later.
Thank you.
All right, there's a motion. Let's vote, please. Post? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 11 is approval of the final minutes by reference of the regular City Council meeting of August 19, 2009. May I have a motion to approve the minutes, please?
Yes, Your Honor. No addition or deletion. Make a motion for approval of the minutes, please.
Thank you. Let's vote, please. Post? Motion carries. Thank you. Items 12 through 35, with the exception of those that have been withdrawn, are on the consent agenda, are considered to be routine. They're recommended for approval by the departments and may be enacted in one motion. Are there any items that the council wishes to bring forward? What was that item, Ms. Meyer?
Item 21.
All right, item 21. Any others?
Mayor Goodman.
Yes.
Could you pull 24, please?
21, 24,
Yes, and please also pull 35.
35. All right, any others? If I may have a motion then, please.
Yes, Your Honor. Make a motion to approve items 12 through 35 with the exception of items 21, 24, 25, and 35.
Thank you. All right, let's vote on that, please.
With all conditions.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 21 is approval of a change of business name and change of ownership for a package license subject to the provisions of the Fire Code from New Albertsons, Inc., doing business as Albertsons Store 6008, to Cardenas Markets, Inc., doing business as Cardenas Markets at 4421 East Bonanza Road. Jesus Cardenas Sr., CEO, and others. This is in Ward 3.
Mayor, members of council, Carol Meyer, Finance and Business Services. When the applicant submitted all their paperwork with us, their DBA was doing business as Cardenas Markets, and that's how it's agended. On our last inspection, we noticed all their signage states Cardenas, and they've since changed their paperwork, filed a new DBA, and they want to be doing business as Cardenas Market, Inc., doing business as Cardenas.
All right, the record will reflect that. May I have a motion, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I move to follow the staff recommendation for approval of this item with all conditions, please.
All right, let's vote, please.
As corrected.
Thank you. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item is 24. 24 is pre-approval of an award of bid of number 07.15341.05-DC, Pavilion Pool Cover located at 101 South Pavilion Center Drive, to the lowest responsive and responsible or best bidder, and the construction conflicts and contingency reserve set by Finance and Business Services. This is in Ward 2.
Mayor Goodman, thank you for pulling it. Kathy, thanks for coming up to the podium. I just wanted to highlight this item and let my colleagues here on the council know that apparently this went out to bid, and we received a number of bids, and even the top three came in about $1.5 million lower than we had estimated, and that was a revised estimate from a couple of years ago. So I don't think we've awarded this bid yet, but we will award it very soon, and my understanding is that whomever receives this project, it's going to come in about $1.5 million less than what we thought just a couple of months ago, and that's a direct savings on this project. I'm just very happy about it. Just wanted to say that.
Correct. We had actually 18 bids accepted, and 16 of those were less than $4 million, and our budget amount was 4.8.
All right, may I have a motion, please?
To approve.
All right, let's vote, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 35 is R70-2009, approval of a resolution to refund surplus amounts of $8,836.40 in special improvement districts for wards 1, 3, and 5. Councilwoman, did you wish to have that brought forward?
Yes, I did. Only to add a little bit of information, we had some written communication from some residents in the city who questioned why we couldn't return this money to the general fund so it could be used throughout. And I know the reason why, but if Jorge would give it, I think they would appreciate that.
Mr. Cervantes.
Certainly, Councilman. Jorge Cervantes, Department of Public Works. This is money that was assessed to the property owners for doing the improvements. It was part of the administrative account. The projects have been closed out. All the bonds have been paid off. So the refund goes back to the people who actually paid for it, which is the residents themselves.
And that's why it's not used in the general fund, because this is money paid for by those people who live in that area, and it's just a refund to them because money was saved.
Specifically for those improvements.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I would move to approve.
Thank you. Please vote on that. Opposed? Me? Motion carries. Thank you. Before we go on to the next item, I'd like to just give a special thanks and recognition to one of our very own who has just returned home from Afghanistan. Dan Still, who is sitting at the end of the dais, is one of the lawyers in our city attorney's office, and he's also a captain in the Army Reserve. He served a tour of combat duty in Iraq a few years ago and safely returned, and then for the past 13 months he went to Afghanistan fighting against the Taliban with his troops. He's a very quiet fellow, very unassuming fellow, but we've learned that he's being considered for 2 very high military decorations. Both are Bronze Stars, one for valor in the face of the enemy, and that's the fourth highest honor that the Army gives out, and he was nominated for it because of his actions during a 6-hour gun battle back on May the 12th. Dan, we're happy you're home safely. And we want to thank you and all the other men and women who are protecting our freedoms around the world, and we welcome you home. Would you like to say anything at this time?
Well, I'd like to thank you for welcoming me back. I appreciate it. It's amazing to kind of be back into the real world after being gone for so long. The adjustments are interesting, that's for sure. But I appreciate all the kindness and the concern that everybody has shown me since I've been back. And like I say, it's good to be home.
It's great to have you home. Thank you. Okay, item 42 is discussion and possible action regarding an interlocal agreement between the Board of Regents on behalf of the College of Southern Nevada, the City of Henderson Police Department, the City of North Las Vegas Police Department, and the City of Las Vegas Department of Detention and Enforcement to provide basic level Category 1, 2, and 3 law enforcement training. Which one?
These here. We're going to go to 36 here. 36.
Should we have another thing? Yes, Chief.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. Karen Coyne, Chief of the City's Department of Detention and Enforcement. Thank you for your time this morning. The item referenced in agenda number 42 is actually, the agreement rather referenced in item number 42 was actually executed in 2006 between the College of Southern Nevada and the cities of Henderson and North Las Vegas to provide academy instruction. The agreement in the amended form before you today simply adds the City of Las Vegas as a voting member to the Executive Board. It's important to note, by way of background, that for the last 25 of our department's 28 years of existence, we actually hosted Category 1, 2, and 3 peace officer training for police recruits in Southern Nevada. And with the exception of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, virtually every law enforcement agency in the Southern Nevada hemisphere participated in that academy. We had a very successful program, produced a quality product, and unfortunately, the very success of that program in 2006 was threatened by growth, if you can imagine. Many of our participating agencies were gearing up for the influx of hiring as a result of the voter-approved quarter-cent sales tax initiative, and the increased demand for academy-level instruction escalated to a point where we realized we could no longer provide the quality service that we once were able to, while also continuing to meet the in-service annual training needs of our then 415 other department members. Sad as it was, those partners had to step away from our relationship in an effort to ensure their future success, and as a result, the Southern Desert Regional Academy was formed. We hosted one academy, Category 1, beyond that relationship, and it became painfully clear to us that it was no longer economically feasible for us to continue to do so. And so we transitioned at that point from hosting that type of instruction to being a customer of the Southern Desert Regional Academy. And I'm very happy to say that we're extremely pleased with the product we've received as a result of that transition. While I met with the chiefs of North Las Vegas and Henderson, as well as then community college representatives at the time, to discuss the many opportunities the future would hold for our continued partnerships, it wasn't until about 6 or 8 months ago when the group reapproached us and asked if we would be interested in becoming a more active participant in the Southern Desert Regional program by integrating the corrections piece of our instruction. Now, this offer couldn't have come at a better time, because once again we found ourselves realizing that the very success of the last standing successful component of our academy program was threatened, not by growth this time, but by budget cuts. We are obligated to meet the needs of our internal employees just as we are obligated to provide academy-level training. And this agreement, while It certainly doesn't purport to save huge sums of money for any particular agency. It's not anticipated it will cost any particular agency a huge sum of money to participate. It's really a solid example of how, under certain circumstances, combining like services can be effective. There has been forethought in the development of this board. There is equal decision-making power. This is going to standardize the level of training our officers in this valley will receive. It'll build camaraderie amongst them. It's going to open the recruitment door because it will be available to non-affiliates, which are students who are actively enrolled in the criminal justice program at the college who have yet to obtain full-time employment with a law enforcement agency. And I guess, as we reflect back and look forward, this is coming about at a time where it's the right time to do it for all the right reasons. And I'd like to invite my colleagues up who are here today to represent the Executive Board, Chief Chambers, Chief Forty, and Dr. Hilo Winters from the College of Southern Nevada. We're asking for your support today. I'd like to have them have the opportunity to make some comments. Thank
Certainly.
you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor and council members. I'm Yuta Chambers, the Chief of the Henderson Police Department, and we have been a participant in the academy that Chief Coyne talked to you about that they used to put on, and we did that for quite a few years. We have also worked very closely with the college and North Las Vegas to get the Southern Desert Regional Police Academy up to the standard that it is today, and we are very excited about this new endeavor that we're undertaking by adding corrections into our academy curriculum. So we will now, we actually have an academy starting in a couple of weeks, and that will have 42 police and corrections officers, and we service about 18 law enforcement agencies in the Southern Nevada area that all participate in our academy. So we're really excited about the direction that this is going, and hope that you'll support addition of the City of Las Vegas Detention and Enforcement into our Academy Executive Committee.
Thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm Dr. Hilo Winters. I'm from the College of Southern Nevada, and we're excited about this opportunity. It adds an increased level of credibility to what we're already doing, and it helps us meet our mission of how we see ourselves in Southern Nevada as being a provider of an educated workforce for the citizens of Southern Nevada. So we're excited about this opportunity and hope you will consider it favorably.
Thank you for joining us.
Mayor, council members, Chief Joe Forty of the North Las Vegas Police Department. I can only echo what's kind of been said here today. I've been involved in teaching at the academy when it was when they hosted the Southern Nevada Law Enforcement Academy, and now with the Southern Desert Regional Police Academy. And I think the one thing that Chief Coyne underestimates is how wonderful a product that they put out over all the years when they ran that academy until we moved over to our partnership with the college. And so I thought it was really a no-brainer when we invited them to actually be partners once again with us, and they come and join us in this endeavor. And when she said that she would be more than happy to become a part of this, I was really thrilled because, quite frankly, I think we need them in our at this academy, and it's very, very important that they're in this. And so I would ask for you to please support this today and greatly appreciate it from the North Las Vegas Police Department.
Thank you very much for being here. Chief.
Sir, if I could just add one more point. This also assists us in our succession planning efforts. All of the graduates will come out of the academy with college credentials, which, if not required currently, are certainly desired for successive leadership opportunities. And so from the day they walk in the door, we're already preparing them for the future. Very important. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation.
Mayor, if I can make a comment?
Yes, Councilman.
Thank you. First of all, I want to make a legal statement. Item 42 involves an interlocal agreement between the cities in Southern Nevada and the Board of Regents to expand the categories of law enforcement training at the Southern Desert Regional Police Academy. I need to disclose I was elected member of the Board of Regents between 2002 and 2009, I did not vote on the original agreement to create the Southern Desert Regional Police Academy, but in 2006, I cast a vote as a university region to expand the facility. I did not vote on today's item as a member of the Board of Regents and informed by the city attorney that today's item has never been considered by the Board of Regents. As such, I've been informed that with this disclosure, I do not have a conflict of interest and in no way prohibit me from voting today on item 42.
All right, thank you very much.
I'd also like to make just one comment, Mayor,
Certainly.
if it's okay. In most people and organizations, when they're doing something like this and they're doing it well, they don't like to give it up. I mean, they don't. They like to hang on to things. And I have to commend Chief Coyne for taking the lead in taking a look at something that her organization has been doing for a while and saying, what can I do in these financial, economic times to save the city money and maybe do a better job in partnership with other members of the community. So you're taking a lead in consolidating services, saving money, and working with two other cities, Chief Forte and Chief Chambers, to do a better job and to save money for this entire valley. So you guys are absolutely taking a lead. Consolidation is absolutely critical right now. Every city should be looking at it. The city of Las Vegas should be looking at it. I know we are. I know our city manager is. But I challenge really every employee with the city of Las Vegas to take a look at what they've been doing, take a look at other cities, the county, and find out how we can consolidate to do a better job and save money. So I commend you guys. We're gonna have a great academy, and I know the College of Southern Nevada is going to do a great job. So thanks for stepping up to the plate. This is the kind of thing we should be doing right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Goodman?
Yes. Councilman Barlow.
Yes, Chief Coyne, you mentioned the succession plan and the those coming through the academy will have an opportunity to receive college credits. What is the number of college credits in which one will receive, and at what level? The associates, the baccalaureate? Would you please explain that?
PO candidates, or Category 1 police officers, come out of the academy with about 33 credits, which is almost halfway to an associate's degree. And of course, it is our hope that this will be stimulating to them to continue on and get their advanced degrees. It's yet to be determined how many credits the corrections officers will graduate with. It will be slightly less, probably in the range of 20 or so, but the college is currently evaluating that curriculum, so that will be information we'll look forward to learning from them.
So in order to promote, is there requirements within your departments for one to have a college degree?
It's a big subject of debate. Some departments, I believe, Henderson may have a requirement. Others, it's a desired, preferential trait. We're getting there. I believe that that's exactly what the future is going to hold. When you take a look at the number of people that we manage and the large budgets that we manage and the huge responsibility we have to our appointed leadership, our elected leadership, the citizens, we need people in there who are highly educated. Having a degree certainly doesn't mean you're any smarter than anybody else. It just demonstrates commitment. It gives you a larger pool of people to draw from and a range of experience that you may not otherwise garner.
But in essence, would you agree that this process, as far as going through the College of Southern Nevada, the opportunity for those who are coming through the system, if you will, to get a jump start in the sense of educating themselves even more in the career in which they're looking to go into?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you so very much.
Sure. Fine.
And
Any
thank
other
you
comments?
all for coming and allowing us to be a part of the entire process.
Any other comments or questions? All right. May I have a motion, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, I want to thank those entities that are allowing us to be part of their group. I think we're going to just add to rather than taking away from. And I want to echo Councilman Anthony's comments about consolidation. I think this, again, is just one step towards consolidation. I would move to approve this interlocal agreement between the City of Las Vegas, Department of Detention, and Enforcement as voting member of the Executive Committee to provide basic Category 1, 2, and 3 post-certified law enforcement training. And thank you very much, Chief, for a good
Thank
presentation.
you, sir.
Very good. Let's vote on that. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank our guests.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm going to call item 40 forward. Ms. Diaz, I'm going to call forward.
40.
40. All right. All right, then I'm not going to call it forward. I'm sorry. I tried to do you a favor, but I can't get it on. 41 is report on proposed repository for high-level nuclear waste at Yucca Mountain from Bruce Breslow, Executive Director for the Nevada Agency for Nuclear Projects, and Irene Navis, Clark County Nuclear Waste Planning Manager pertaining to all wards. Mr. Breslow? Ms. Navis.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Last time I was here, my name is Bruce Breslow. I'm with the state of Nevada. I was the mayor of Sparks. The Running Rebels were the reigning national champions. Bush Sr. was president, and the Department of Energy had started the spending of $8 billion to build a U-shaped tunnel at Yucca Mountain. I'm here to report that a lot has happened since then, and in the last 24 months, significant changes have occurred. Specifically, since the last time I believe the state reported something to you all was about a year ago. A year ago, President Bush was there. The nation considered Yucca Mountain a done deal. The state was fighting it, and the process was going forward. Now, we have President Obama. The nation considers Yucca a dead deal, and still the state and the city and the county are fighting it because, unfortunately, we keep killing it, and it keeps stumbling forward like a bad zombie movie. What's happening with Yucca Mountain today is a two-pronged attack by the state of Nevada and our Congressional Commission to try to stop the rest of the country bringing their high-level nuclear waste. And it has never seen a better day than it has today, I'm glad to report. On the federal side, you've read that President Obama announced that the project will not go forward. They still funded it for this year. They're hoping to zero fund it for next year. This year, the Department of Energy has $11 million just for their attorneys for the license application, which is still going forward. It is still the law of the land. The state of Nevada probably does not have the votes in Congress to change the law of the land. So the best thing that we can do in Congress is to starve the beast, have the support of the president, and try to kill it like the super collider by taking away its funds. On the state side, a year ago, the Department of Energy submitted their license application. Our legal team submitted 229 legal contentions, serious safety and legal contentions against the application. We were very successful. A couple months ago, the federal judges assigned to this awarded Nevada a remarkable 220 of our contentions to be allowed to be litigated separately. They are serious contentions. We think that if we're not successful on the political solution, we really think we'll be successful in court, which no one has ever done before on a project before the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. So we are still vigilant. We are funded. Our funds do not come from the taxpayers. They come from the ratepayers who pay DOE, who turn it over to the federal government, who then give it back to DOE with a caveat that they have to fund the groups involved in the licensing process, Clark County, the state of Nevada, and other counties. So we had 2 days of legal arguments earlier this year. The previous 2 days we just spent in front of the federal judges, and we're able to work out a deposition schedule. This hearing by law can go 4 years. It's very expensive. The Department of Energy is well armed, but we're very confident on the state level, working with Clark County and others in the city of Las Vegas, that this project will never open. And I'm proud to report that right now it's boarded up. They change light bulbs once a month. The tours have ceased, and all work on the project has stopped, except for the license application, which is still going forward. If anyone has any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
It's still on an earthquake fault, isn't it?
It's an earthquake fault. There's faults when you walk through it. You can see it. It's on a volcanic plain. It's a mess. What the state proved, Mayor, was that this was a bad site. It wasn't what the Department of Energy thought it was, that it was fractured rock, the water moved too fast through the rock, it was a bad site. So instead of going back to Congress and saying, we made a mistake, we need to look at something else, the Department of Energy tried to engineer a solution with super canisters and futuristic robots and all sorts of things. So it doesn't really matter if it is Yucca Mountain anymore.
Right.
They're trying to submit an engineered solution that just happens to be in Yucca Mountain.
Right, and they have no way to assure that there's training for the transportation of nuclear waste should there be a hazardous accident or some intentional act which would affect it. It's a joke with the way they proceeded. They've lied. They pretended in a charade to come out here and do a scientific study. They spent about 10 minutes and filed a phony report, and we have to live with that, and we have to litigate it, and we have to spend all of the taxpayer money in order to do the right thing when it should be a dead deal. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Thank you for the report. Ms. Navis, did you want to add to that?
Just a couple of things.
Okay.
Irene Navis with Clark County's Nuclear Waste Division. I don't want to repeat anything that Bruce said in the interest of time, just a couple of Clark County specific things. We were fortunate enough to have 13 out of the 15 contentions that we submitted be successfully put through to the next phase of the process. We understand, as a result of the last 2 days of hearings, that we will start the discovery process sometime in October. We hope to work very closely with the state, with Inyo County, and other counties that have similar interests and objections to the application in an effort to leverage the limited oversight funds that we receive as one of the 10 counties. There are 9 counties, as you know, in Nevada and 1 county in California that have been designated as affected units of local government. The Timbisha-Shoshone tribe also has been admitted as a party as an affected unit of government. So there are a lot of parties that we have an opportunity to coordinate with and do some very good work to prove the case that this is not a project that should move forward should we be continuing through the project after fiscal year 2011, where funding is at best uncertain at this point. At the local level, some of the things that we're doing to bolster our efforts are the update to the public safety study that we do every 2 years involving all of the cities in Clark County, as well as unincorporated Clark County, emergency management, fire, police, and other related services, because you're right, Mayor, the Department of Energy has grossly underestimated the public safety impacts, has not adequately provided for protection of the first responder community as well as the citizens across the country who would be impacted by the transportation, and for us here in Southern Nevada, the repository itself. So that is a big piece of evidence that we're going to bring forward in the licensing proceeding when the time comes. The other thing that we're doing is an update to the commodity flow study that we did 2 years ago to look at all hazardous materials coming through Clark County, including the city of Las Vegas, by rail and by truck. You remember the runaway train, the literal runaway train that we had in August of 2008 loaded with chlorine coming through Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, and we were very concerned about that. Our first report came out just 6 weeks before that incident occurred. We want to make sure that that information is current and becomes an input to the licensing proceeding as well. As part of our monitoring program, we do a community survey every year. We expect those results to come out within the next 30 days, and of course we will share those results with each of the cities as we always do. In addition, we're looking at a new impact assessment that we hadn't done before, impacts specifically related to airport operations. We've seen in the last year and a half or so the significant impacts to the tourism industry, impacts to airport operations. We want to make sure things like Homeland Security as they relate to the transportation of nuclear waste do not have an undue impact on the airport. And we're trying to assess the magnitude of that impact, again, as an input to the licensing proceeding. Those are some of the key things that we're doing at the local level, certainly as appropriate in conjunction with the City of Las Vegas and the other cities. And we're happy to continue to do that as we move along, as long as we're provided funding for this process. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Were there any questions of Mr. Breslow or Ms. Davis? Well, thank you for coming down and giving us that report. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay, may I call item 40 now? Okay, I'm going to call item 40 out of order. 40 is discussion and possible action regarding an exclusive negotiation agreement between City Parkway 5, Inc. and Cleveland Clinic Foundation to undertake due diligence to determine the feasibility of developing and operating a medical facility on parcels A2, B, J, and K at Symphony Park, located at 100 South Grand Central Parkway. This is in Ward 5. You'll note, I don't know whether you're able to pick up what several of the council members are wearing today. We have the new logo pin of Symphony Park, beautiful pin. I think Mr. Aaron has one on his lapel, and some of the council members have worn theirs today. We appreciate it, and I think everybody has just about. So that's a good thing, and we're looking forward to your report, Mr. Aaron.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. For the record, Bill Arndt, Acting Director, Office of Business Development. I'll keep my remarks brief in recognition of some distinguished guests we have today from both the Keep Memory Alive Foundation as well as the Cleveland Clinic Foundation. The agreement before you today is an exclusive negotiation agreement, which is really the first step in a two-step process to enter into an agreement to develop 4 parcels in Symphony Park. These parcels, as shown on the overhead, are parcels A2, Parcel B, Parcel J, and Parcel K in Symphony Park. The agreement contemplates a donation of 2 of the parcels, Parcels A2 and Parcel J, with later discussions with the Cleveland Clinic to finalize terms of disposition for Parcels B and Parcel K. The project is intended to give the Cleveland Clinic Foundation an opportunity to study the development of new medical care or research facilities together with structured parking in Symphony Park, and it sets forward a schedule for deliverables to be provided from the Cleveland Clinic team. With that, I'd like to introduce Rita Brandon from New England Communities, who will introduce members of the team that are here today from both Keep Memory Alive Foundation as well as the Cleveland Clinic Foundation.
Thank you, Mr. Arndt.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Good morning, City Council members. Rita Brandon, New England Communities. The agreement before you today is like many other agreements that we have brought before you over the past 3 years, in that it is an exclusive negotiating agreement with a potential developer for the site. But I do want to reinforce that this could potentially be one of the most important agreements before you for consideration, given the international and national recognition that Cleveland Clinic will bring to our project. As they go through their next year of feasibility studies, begin to form their interest at Symphony Park, we will learn more about ultimate program. Bill mentioned that they have a number of deliverables that they'll undertake over the next 11 months. They have 12 months. They have 14 different deliverables, including program, including site planning, all the way up and into a site development plan review before we bring a development agreement to you next October. So they're very committed in being diligent about looking at this opportunity, looking at Las Vegas broadly as an opportunity. With that, I would like to introduce the team. Mr. Larry Ruvo.
Why don't you come up, Larry?
Why don't you all come up? Mr. Larry Ruvo, who you all know as the visionary behind the Brain Institute, the Brain Center, as well as Maureen Pegman, who's the Chief Operating Officer for
Why don't you come up?
Keep Memory Alive. And then we also have with us today, directly from Cleveland Clinic, Kareem Boutros, as well as Brian Smith.
Gentlemen, please join us.
And Mr. Ruvo, would you like to speak today? We'd love for you to come up, and as well as Ms. Peckman.
If you would, Mr. Ruvo, give us a thumbnail sketch as to how all this started and where it looks to be headed.
It started with a phone call from you, Mr. Mayor. You had a dream, I had a dream, and I don't know if the people of Las Vegas really understand the vision that you had for the 61 acres and bringing down the medical component. I just want to speak to you today on behalf of Keep Memory Alive. It has been an amazing run because of the ladies and gentlemen on this council. There has been nothing that we have asked you to do that you have not done for us. Everything, I believe, we've delivered as well. It is a perfect partnership. But I want to today share with you some miscalculations that we made. And the first miscalculation was initially when we started, we told the mayor that we believed initially with the university that we'd see 700 to 900 patients. Cleveland Clinic came in, reevaluated, said we would open and we'd see 3,000 patients. Well, as you know, we opened in mid-July. And 3 weeks ago, I was with Dr. Modic up in Reno, Nevada, looking also to expand our services up north. And Dr. Modic made a statement in front of a friend of ours that we'd be seeing 9,000 patient visits this year. When the meeting was over, I looked at Dr. Modic out in the hallway and I said, you know, you banted a number of 9,000 people, 9,000 patient visits. He said, I know, that was wrong. I said, well, please don't use those kind of numbers because I'm going to go out and repeat those. He said, no, the real number is 12,000. So I stand before you today with a miscalculation that we initially thought the needs of Southern Nevada were less than 1,000, less than 3,000. We're not even open 2 months, and we're bringing 5 additional doctors in. We have an amazing group of doctors that we're interviewing this week, Friday, that are coming in with their families. And the need is not going to be 12,000. It's more. People over 50 years of age are concerned about brain health. Our Center for Brain Health has woke up the people of Las Vegas not to the needs. They always knew the need. They didn't know where to go. And now they see that name up there, the Cleveland Clinic, and they're calling and they're coming in not only from Las Vegas, as far away as Alaska, California, Utah, and Arizona. So the dream that the mayor had to do something with his 61 acres that would stimulate downtown, bring people into our state, and take care of Nevada residents, I know is beyond what his vision was, and certainly mine. But the other perfect partnership, and I speak to you today as Keep Memory Alive's chairman and founder, not as Cleveland Clinic, not for the Cleveland Clinic, but that too is a perfect partnership. The intellect, the amount of ingenuity, creativity, partnership, I couldn't imagine to have a better partner than the Cleveland Clinic. Last month when President Obama said that he would style part of our nation's health care after the esteemed Cleveland Clinic and his visit to the Cleveland Clinic, along with so many of members of our Senate and Congress and congressional leaders, it reaffirms that what we have in Las Vegas and what you have before you is an opportunity to take our medical health to another level. And I believe you're going to stimulate this downtown area. We know that we're booking rooms in hotels now for patients. So what you have before you is another perfect partnership. And I want to thank everybody on this council. We spoke, each one of you through the years. You've been to our openings. You've been to our galas. I couldn't have done it without you, and I'm very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Who's next?
I'm Brian Smith. I'm the Director of Strategic Project Development. Brian Smith, Director of Strategic Project Development for the Cleveland Clinic. We're very thankful for the opportunity to be here in Las Vegas. We're also very thankful to Larry and the entire Ruvo family for making it possible. And I do want to recommit our commitment to the clinic directly from Cleveland, Ohio. We do see this as a wonderful opportunity. We are excited to be working with Newland as well as City Council and the entire city of Las Vegas. And we do look forward to bringing forth a wonderful product over the course of the next year. As you know, there are some very regimented deliverables that we have to bring forth to you, and we look forward to doing that. And we do look for your approval of this exclusive negotiating agreement. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd just like to point out why we're so excited as a council to have this before us. I was told not to engage in too much enthusiasm because we have a very important road ahead of us with Cleveland Clinic deciding what specialties they're going to bring to our community and how they're going to deliver these wonderful services. But I want the public to understand with whom we're dealing. We're dealing with a institution that is world-renowned. In last month's edition, which just came out, of U.S. News and World Report, the cover story is America's Best Hospitals. And the ratings that take place concerning various diseases and their treatments at the various hospitals throughout the United States. And I'd just like to give you a little bit of a rundown as to where these rankings are as far as Cleveland Clinic is concerned. And you can share with us our enthusiasm to have their presence in our community. Now, ratings are ratings, and they're not scientifically perfect, but look at the whole picture here. Rated for cancer, 12th out of 50. That's the top 50 in the country. There are probably, I can't imagine how many institutions treat these diseases, but they rate the top 50. Of the top 50, ranked 12th. Diabetes and endocrine disorders, ranked 6th. Digestive disorders, ranked 2nd. Ear, nose, and throat, ranked 9th. Geriatric care, ranked 10th. Gynecology, ranked 6th. Heart and heart surgery, ranked 1st. Kidney disorders, ranked 5th. Neurology and neurosurgery, ranked 6th. Orthopedics, ranked 4th. Respiratory disorders, ranked 4th. Urology, ranked 2nd. Ophthalmology, ranked 11th. Rheumatology, ranked 2nd. That just gives you an idea of what we're about to partner with for the future of Southern Nevada, for Nevada, for the West, and for the country. It's all going to take place in downtown Las Vegas. And I want to thank the council because to a person, I really mean this, to a person, you've been so supportive of working with Newland and business development, with the Brain Institute, Mr. Ruvo and his staff, Ms. Peckman. You've just been terrific, and that's important because the Cleveland Clinic knows that we embrace their presence and we welcome them to our community. So, Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, Your Honor. Just a couple notes also. You know, this morning we was in a redevelopment, we was talking about what we're doing downtown and what the redevelopment agency is meant to not only downtown but the rest of the community. And again, it's just always been a pleasure for me to meet and talk to people like Larry Ruvo, Maureen Peckman, Mr. Smith. They have a job to do, as we do. And to me, they've always done their job with a tremendous effort, but with their heads held high and with honesty. And I've always felt comfortable meeting with those people like that. Rita Brandon is to me, another star that has done so much for the city of Las Vegas. And I've always deemed it an honor to be able to do those things at this, in my position, sitting up here, to benefit the people of Las Vegas and Clark County in the state of Nevada. And we have many, many hats that we wear. And I've always tried to wear my hat with pride. And so following behind the mayor in his footsteps is really, really hard. I don't know where he gets his energy to go out and meet with the different people that he meets with, but he does have a vision for downtown. and I think he's done a tremendous job leading us. And so, Councilman Barlow, again, in your ward, we're going to be able to do something that is going to be a benefit to many, many people in the city of Las Vegas. There's many groups that's going to benefit from it, and I just hope that the medical profession that we already have here understands what we're trying to do. We're not trying to hurt. We're trying to help. We're trying to make things better, and I can certainly support Cleveland Clinic, and I welcome them with open arms. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Goodman, please.
Councilor Wilson.
I just want to highlight one thing, and that is that it's my understanding that part of the process for the Cleveland Clinic over the next year or so is to explore what other type of specialty medical fields to specialize in here in Las Vegas. In addition to the Brain Institute and the study of neurodegenerative diseases, the process is going to see what else can we bring to this community. I've lived in Las Vegas almost 30 years, and I remember early on when I moved to Las Vegas, there was always the thought that if you needed something special, if you needed that operation or that medical procedure, you had to leave the state. And we've all read over the years about some of our public officials, and even private citizens have had to leave the state of Nevada to receive medical treatment. My hope, and I think this council's hope, is that this plan, this idea, will cause that type of thinking to cease. And that once this medical campus is complete, that people won't have to consider leaving the state of Nevada because the best medical care will be right here downtown.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Councilor Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. On yesterday, I was out in the community, and a gentleman whom I don't know walked up to me and introduced himself. And he stated, "Councilman, I understand that the city of Las Vegas is giving away land." And I says, "Well, help me understand." He says, "I just read in the paper that you all are giving away land." I says, "Well, the city of Las Vegas is not in the business of giving away land. We're in the business of building community. And so if that means the city of Las Vegas offering up our small portion for the sake and the good of the community as a whole, then that's what we're designed to do. Specifically, when you have sitting in front of you two great entities, the Lou Ruvo Brain Institute as well as the Cleveland Clinic, partnering with each other as well as the city of Las Vegas to not only save lives but bring in preventative medicines and technology and science into a community that has lacked it, for a better word, to really build a community that is in need. I have a father who has heart problems. Just as of last week, he had to go in for a pacemaker, and doctors were telling him early on that he may have to go to another state in order to receive some additional care. And I turned and told that doctor, I says, "Well, my father may not have to leave the state now that Cleveland Clinic is in town." And I was proud to say that, not only because it's in Ward 5, but it's in the city of Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada, that we now have a destination point to turn to right in our very own home, Las Vegas, Nevada. We no longer have to look outward to receive the benefits and the rewards. We no longer have to take our resources out, but we're bringing resources in. So to that gentleman, I told him we're doing the right thing. We're not giving away land. We're actually receiving something greater than the small donation of land in the downtown community. So with that, I'm very proud to sit on this council and be a part of a vision that started, Mr. Ruvo, with a phone call from a visionary on this council, Mr. Oscar Goodman, for being very assertive and using his bully pulpit and seeing things that the greater community could not see, and thought that it was only wolf tickets he was selling, but now realizing that he stands behind his word and he understands things that others don't, and see things that the greater good of the community don't, to really bring about a vision, once upon a time a dream, and today a reality. And the first four letters of reality is real. And Mayor, you are real in regards to keeping not only the memory alive in this community, but keeping the development alive in downtown. So I want to thank you for being a realist. I want to thank you for being real, and thank you for being upfront and forthright in regards to identifying individuals such as the Cleveland Clinic and the Lou Rubo Brain Institute, and really wrapping your arms around them and making sure that they bring in the services greatly needed by our residents, not only in Las Vegas, but the state of Nevada. And so with that, I would like to move forward to recommend that this council approve item number 40, subject to all conditions, and that will be my motion at this time.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's
Mr.
vote,
Mayor,
please.
if
Yes.
I just might state
That's
something
right.
before,
Sure.
just quickly, I really believe this is one of the most extraordinary, beneficial partnerships ever in the history of the city or in the future of the city. And I just thank Lou Ruvo for all he's done to help us, and his staff too. And I know the mayor is always urging us on. He really didn't have to urge hard, though. We knew how much he's needed. I've had many friends who've had to go out of state for help. I've had many friends that, as the mayor read out where the ranking was in the Cleveland Clinic, they would have been able to stay in town. And I'm grateful for that. Through personal experience within my family, I'm very grateful. I'm just excited, and I'm very honored to be part of making a vote for this.
Good, thank you. All right, let's vote, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you very much, and good luck, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, item 36, hearing and possible action on a 45-day review for the vacant or abandoned buildings located at 4152 Silver Dollar Avenue, Units 2, 4, 5, 7 to 8, 4168 Silver Dollar Avenue, Units 1 through 4, 6 through 8, 4186 Silver Dollar Avenue, Units 1 through 7. The property owners are RFH La Paz, LLC, in Ward 1. Mr. Smith.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. Devin Smith, Manager of Neighborhood Response. As you said, this is a review of the properties. The subject properties were determined to be substandard, dangerous, and declared a public nuisance as defined in Las Vegas Municipal Code, Title 9.04.02 and Section 202 of the Uniform Housing Code. A nuisance housing code notice in order to comply was mailed to the property owners to correct the nuisance per Title 904. Graffiti, refuse and waste, weeds, turf, and Las Vegas Municipal Code 13.28, street naming and address assignment. 16.20 of the Housing Codes in Title 19. Today's hearing is to review regarding the status of the violation and civil penalties from the public hearing items on March 4, 2009 and April 15, 2009. The recommendation is the review status of violation listed in the Notice Housing Code Notice in Order to Comply mailed on September 11, 2008, and the Notice in Order regarding vacant and abandoned building mailed on August 11, 2008, and recommends a one-year review.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Are there any questions of Mr. Smith? Anybody here on behalf of the property owner? RFH La Paz, LLC? Yes, sir. Please
Good morning,
identify
Your-
yourself for the record.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor, members of the council. Rex Henriot, managing member of RFH La Paz, property owner of the units described.
All right, be happy to hear from you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, as you and the members of the council review the items before you, I'm compelled to again, very briefly, put into the record that the city initiated this action against the property, against its prior owner, the name of which was North Star Realty. When I purchased these units, I was aware of the city's action. I embraced it, and I've worked hand in hand with Mr. Smith's office, specifically with Greg Gallegos and Vicky Ozuna, and I want to thank them for their guidance. And I also want to thank Councilwoman Tarkanian and her office for their concern for the property. Your Honor, again, when I bought these units a little over a year ago, not only was the property in disrepair, but also as the majority owner of the 24 units, I own 19 of them, I inherited the leadership role of the association, which was non-functioning and non-compliant with the real estate division in the Ombudsman's office. All the owners, none of the owners were participating within the paying of the bills, and subsequently we had thousands of dollars in unpaid utilities. I'm happy to stand before you today and say that all of those compliance issues have been resolved. We are compliant with the Ombudsman's office. I have worked, again, with Mr. Smith's office to make all of the necessary repairs, and I think I've given back to the city a property or working on a property that's beneficial to the community, and the 19 families, the hardworking families that are residents there now.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
just for the record, I want to note that there was a $500 payment made on the account for the outstanding balance as of yesterday.
What is your recommendation, Mr. Smith?
I would recommend that the council set up or order some type of payment plan so we're getting regular payments to pay this off, and some type of time frame to bring it back for, like I said, probably a 1-year review to see the status, to make sure that the property is still in its current condition, that payments are being made, and we have had no further action with the property.
How much was the payment that was made yesterday?
$500.
All right. Are there any questions or comments?
Yes, I have a question, Mayor. I'm sitting here looking through the backup, and I guess I'm missing it somewhere. What is the total cost that is owed?
If I'm not mistaken, it was approximately it was a quite substantial amount of money.
Normally you have it listed.
It's not in the backup.
I don't see it in the backup.
If I'm not mistaken, the total owed on it with the civil penalties and everything is in excess of $1 million. Am I not correct?
Yes, I'm obviously asking the council to consider how much work I've done with the property and to waive those civil penalties. I am at the mayor's suggestion going on a regular payment plan with the city's finance division to make regular monthly payments. The actual abatement costs were a little over $30,000, but which I'll pay off as soon as possible. As far as the civil penalties, I respectfully ask that those be waived in consideration for all the work that I have done, and again, the circumstances behind the my involvement with the property.
Mayor Goodman?
Yes.
Once again, to Mr. Smith, I'm at a loss in regards to the number owed, and it'll make it difficult for me to even continue to deliberate as far as what the gentleman is asking for.
The daily civil penalties that the council imposed were in excess of $480,000 and change.
Yeah.
Were the daily civils that were imposed.
As I recall from that meeting, I believe that we could have done $1 million, over $1 million, and I believe that I cut it in half. It was $500,000. That's my recollection.
That is very. I know that the original recommended was $1.2 million, and I know that we cut it in half, and I thought it was close to $500,000 that we imposed.
So that's what it was, close to $500,000. And the reason why we kept it that high was because of the difficulty we had in getting any effort in improving the property. Is that correct?
Yes. What we did is we broke it down per unit, the excess number of days that they were without gas and without essential utilities, and we broke it down per unit at the 19 units, and that's how we came up with that figure.
And as I recall, there was a very ill person there. In fact, I think there's somebody here to represent her. I think I saw him over there. But in any case, I just wanted to clarify that. My recollection is it was around $500,000 civil penalties from the possibility of $1.2 million, and that was the highest that I've ever recommended. But I did recommend it because of the extreme difficulty we had in getting anything done, getting response. Now, that was the previous owner? Or was that partly him?
the
My
re-
understanding, he was there part of the time.
The reason that when we had discussed that we imposed the civil penalties is at the time that the previous owner owned it, they were the managing company that was managing the apartments, and then he took them over and purchased the property.
Yeah.
And because of the affiliation from the whole time, that's why
That's
we
right.
came up with those numbers.
That's what it was.
Mr. Smith, is the property fixed up now?
They have done everything that we've asked them to do. Now, I'm not sure, I was under the assumption there was two very minor items that had not been addressed, was the clean out being brought up to grade and the backflow preventer on the sprinkler system. And I am not aware that those were done, and staff has not advised me that those have been
Okay,
done.
but those aren't big dollar items.
Those aren't.
So the big dollar items have all taken place.
The buildings have all been repainted, numbers have been placed on the building, all the electrical issues, gas issues, meter
Right,
issues.
so the bottom line is we have a nice piece of property out there now, having been fixed up from a blight.
It's definitely much better than it was, yes. And they are in compliance, other than those two items.
Your Honor,
Yes, Councilor Ross.
were you done, Councilwoman? I just want to
Did I
ask,
interrupt you?
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
how much money is the city out right now? Do you have that dollar number?
The abatement cost and everything on the property were over $30,000.
Okay, and you're aware of those costs, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're struggling, I know, in this economy to keep things going, and you've had some issues to deal with when you bought the property, and you're a struggling business, am I correct?
Absolutely, and if I may just clarify that my role as the manager of the property, if I may briefly. I was approached by the previous owner, North Star Realty, to take over management of that property. It was March of 2008. I was not aware of the fact that they were in the process of being foreclosed upon by its lender. And when we took over management of that property, I made a recommendation to that individual that X amount of thousands of dollars needed to be made prior to us being able to effectively manage the property, because it had thousands of dollars in deferred maintenance. And that wasn't just to the units that we were managing, but to the condominium property altogether, common areas, landscaping, everything. And their inability to front those dollars to make those repairs led me to walk away from the property as the manager. I was approached by its lender in June, July, only a couple months. I mean, it was foreclosed upon a couple months after we were initially involved. By its lender, we being the first point of contact, if we knew anybody that would be interested in taking over the property ownership. Like, in negotiations, I was able to negotiate a good deal for myself, but knowing full well that the property was under scrutiny by the city, Mr. Smith's office, the councilwoman's office, and knowing that it was under a tremendous amount of scrutiny, I knew that prior to closing escrow, I did close escrow, and my ability to expedite the repairs has only been limited by my the limits of my checkbook. I have, as Mr. Smith said, went through all the compliance issues that they set before me. And the two minor ones that he cited as not being done, I'm here to state for the record that those are done and ready to be inspected as well. Those were common areas. And again, my ability to repay a civil the day would be unable to do. That's just way beyond my abilities. So, respectfully ask that they consider what has been done. I've very briefly state that. Before we were involved with the property, several of my tenants had approached me saying that they had, the property was well known in the neighborhood. I mean, these people have lived in that neighborhood for years and years and years. And they had a saying for the property. It was called retache. And what that means is, in Spanish, it means it's a place where the worst of the worst congregate. And they would purposely, when they would walk their children to school, walk around the property knowing that was the worst of the worst. Well, I'm here to state today that it's not the worst of the worst. It's up against any other property on that street. I'm proud to put it up against. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other comments or questions? Okay, Councilwoman. Oh, did you want to be heard, sir? Yes.
Hi, I'm Malcolm Perez, 9237 Evergreen Canyon. There are some things that he failed to mention. There was, while he owned the property, several months afterwards, through the month of, I'd want to say, September, October, November, There was people that were left there without any gas, meaning they had no hot water and no source of cooking. 45 days ago, when he was here, I think at that time, Councilman Reese, Mayor Pro Tem Reese, said try to make a substantial dent in the amount of the civil penalties, which is over $30,000 that the city is out. Waited till the last day, paid $500. I don't know. To me, that's not really a substantial amount. Prior to that, I want to say in April, there was a time where I believe a payment agreement had been made at that time. And as far as being in compliance with the ombudsman and what have you, that's not true. He went in there, and anybody that lives in a homeowners association knows that you have to vote for the president, vice president, all the board members. He went in there, never had a vote, just put himself in as president, vice president, all the positions. Anyone that looks at the Secretary of State will look under the association's name. It has him there. Not only myself, but another owner has asked him to produce the books. You know, he complains about that nobody wants to pay him or what have you. We want to see the books. He doesn't want to produce them. Thus, you know, there's just things that he said that not totally correct. There was also, there's 2 laundry room areas there, which I know he's been warned not to use for storage because of the fact that it's a health and safety issue. That continues to happen.
Thank you. All right, Councilwoman.
Could I ask you, have you had, what members of your apartments are members of your homeowners association?
They're all members of the association.
Well, I mean, who are the ones who can vote?
Everyone can vote.
How many meetings have you held and made contact with them?
I put forth a meeting that I made contact with him as well as the other owners. There are 5 total owners. I'm one. He is one of the 4 others. I will say that of those other 4, 3 are fully compliant with paying the dues. We are current on all of our bills. We are in compliance with the Ombudsman's office. I disagree.
But are you in compliance with the state regulation that you have to give them a financial report? Because as I've been over there many times, for over probably almost 2 years now, and I know that you're supposed to give a financial report. None was ever given. And as far as I know, no financial report was given to the homeowners. They're feeling, and one reason why they stopped paying those fees was because they felt that money was being utilized other places than for what it was supposed to be utilized for, and that was improvement in the apartment area. And I'm just wondering if those books have been presented, because the last I looked, you were not in compliance on the state level.
Well, I paid all of the necessary reinstatement fees to do so. I will state again that this association was a non-functioning association prior to my taking over, and the person that was in charge of that association produced statements of which all had substantial balances on the books of non-payment. I can't state how any monies were spent prior to my involvement.
Excuse me, but when did you hold your meeting of these of your homeowners association? When was it held?
We have not held a meeting. As I'm required to do an annual meeting. We just reinstated the association in the past month.
But you said you had 5 apartments attend.
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
I apologize if I misstated.
So you haven't had a homeowners association?
No, I've produced statements, because what I was handed over by the association was a non-functioning association that was not paying their bills. Again, I would say that they had thousands of dollars in.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I know it was a non-functioning. I know that the complete control was either in management, of which you were a part, or the owner who was in California. I mean, we've checked all that out. Myself and my staff checked that. So we know that was the situation. I'm just wondering, what have you done to change that situation? You say you've paid your dues to the state, and I'm just wondering, are you having meetings now where the renters there, the other owners there, are able to attend and voice their concerns and give their thoughts as to how the monies collected should be spent? That's what I'm concerned about.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes.
Councilwoman, I know that after our last meeting, our department, Lisa Campbell, actually went down and helped him get that situated with the Ombudsman's office. And as far as I know, that right now he has paid everything up, and he is current with them in reforming the association.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know that he's going to continue, but as my last briefing from Ms. Campbell was that they went down there, they straightened out everything. He is not the only member on there now. He has to rebuild it. He does have a time frame, and I'm not sure what that is. But that my last briefing was that he had he's in compliance right now with them.
Okay, I'd like to see a time frame, if I could see a time frame, because this has gone so long. And I'm also wondering if we had requested his payment of the civil penalties. That was a vote that was taken, and this board voted, this council voted approval. If that, could we request or somehow channel some of that money back towards improving his property? If you look at some of the pictures that are in the backup, is that legal or not legal?
You can look at them.
Is that legal?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And that way he would get benefit. It would improve his property, and I think it would help the citizens there. I will tell you, if you go out there, you know what it's like. You look at the pictures that we had in our backup. Look at those trees. They're cut down. You know, the limbs are cut down. I'm not blaming you for that, but that's what exists right now. Look at those spaces between the buildings there. They're not even yet completely rid of stuff that's in it, and I'm just wondering if that could be done.
I don't know. I believe that would be a question Mr. Jervik would have to answer.
Mr. Jervik, give me a yes or a no.
I misunderstood the question. I was talking to Councilman Ross, and I must apologize for that. I thought you were talking about
Is Councilman Ross telling jokes again? No. Okay.
No. Once the money is collected, the money goes into the general fund as taxpayer money, and it could not be refunded back to the individual for improvement of the property. My apologies for the mistake and the misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Mayor Goodman, if you
Yes.
will, we've got 30,000 plus that was ordered for the abatement process, correct?
Correct.
And then we've got 400,000 plus, whatever that figure is, for the fine. So I think we want to recoup the first 30 plus, and then the question is whether or not we still want to try and recover on the fines.
And Your Honor, if I may, you asked me to make a recommendation. Possibly we would look at reviewing this 1 year from now.
Yes.
And holding those civil penalties over his head. And then we could look at what he's done, what improvements he's done, the property condition. Maybe he wants to take some money and plant some trees and things as the councilwoman's.
The point is, the representations I heard were that the property's in good shape. So what I'm getting
As of
at,
now it is.
We're not babysitters. I don't mean to be disrespectful to you, but we're not in a position to be babysitters for the fella. It's just a question. Let him pay the city back the $30,000 that we put out, and then it's up to the councilwoman as to what she wants to do with the penalties, and set up something of a reasonable nature where we're not breaking his back to make those payments. I would rather have more than $500 every 4 months. You'll never be able to pay it back at that rate.
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like to, I don't know how to quite put this into motion, but I would like to move that we set up a very specific payment plan, as the mayor suggested and Council Wolfson had suggested, more than $500 a month for the paying up of the $30,000, and that we not get into anything else with the civil penalties until we see how that goes.
All right, so in other words, we're basically striking the civil penalty aspect of this, and we're going forward with the recoupment of the monies we've expended.
Basically, we're delaying the civil aspect of it, and we're just concentrating on the other. But if it gets, see, when he first spoke, when Devin first spoke, he said, you asked him, is it in good shape? He said, it's in better shape. It is in better shape. But I would not say yet it's in good shape. But if you came into a situation where everything, was hard to overcome from a previous owner, then we can consider that in setting up the strict payment of the civil, and then we see if that gets done. Because we really didn't get any payment, Mr. Mayor, until yesterday,
Right, that's what I understand.
the day before the meeting. So I would say, let's make up a strict payment plan on the $30,000, and then come back and see if we will make changes with the civil penalties.
And I would, Your Honor, if I may, I would have to ask him what he would feel a reasonable monthly payment would be, and then we would have to see if he held to that.
Well, we have to agree that it's a reasonable monthly payment, too.
Right.
Right. How much can you pay?
I could pay $500 a month. Is
It'll take you 5 years.
with interest. I mean,
Is that coming from your HOA or from you personally?
well, I've been held. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I mean, because some of them are paying their HOA. What is the HOA fee a month?
I've initiated $150 a month. And
So it's $150 a month. So some HOA money is coming in. It's not your personal money.
Excuse me, but if I may, the $30,000 which was assessed by the city to recover our cost to correct it, that is assessed against the property owner, correct?
That is correct.
And he is the property owner.
That is correct.
So that is a financial burden that he bears personally. It's not the HOA that's going to be making these payments. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
But if I may just add, the majority of the resolutions that were needed to improve the property were common areas, and I would reiterate that this HOA had nobody paying into it except for myself for the past year since I've taken over, and as I did, and I would say that I have made significant improvements on the property. The video shown was only taken July 13th. Those pruned back branches or the trees were done so because they were all dead. They were pruned back, and now they are all, as you can see from the video that was taken July 13th, it has all come back. With regards to whether or not it's individual or HOA, that's I've been held accountable for the HOA because I'm the majority owner, and I've known that since day one, and I've accepted that. And again, I would just say that I'm both as the owner and as the association, as the speaker for the association. The individual that we heard from has not. He's one of the 2 owners that haven't paid into the association since I've taken over.
I have to say this, and with all due respect to the councilwoman, I am the first one on this council. If you were not here and you were a bank or a mortgage company, I would be the first one to support civil penalties against what you haven't done to your property. That's me. I can't speak for the rest of my council members. But, Councilwoman, I see in front of us today a guy who is struggling to do what he needs to do, whether he's a good landlord or not. And I got to tell you something, and that's between you guys. In today's economic environment, I would be hard-pressed to support any motion that would have to do with these civil penalties when this man has come forward to us and is going to put his best foot forward. And I think we need to allow him to try to do that. I think we need to give you a chance because you're here today, and you can work something out with the councilwoman and staff to get rid of that $30,000 you owe the taxpayers of the city of Las Vegas. But I can't support a motion that would keep those civil penalties lingering out there. I think we need to give this guy a shot. Let him do it. If he falls off the truck, he falls off the truck, and we're back here at another hearing. But those are my thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Councilwoman.
It's difficult to explain, but for those of us who have worked directly with this, including members of neighborhood services, myself, my staff, we have been told things many times that did not turn out to be accurate. That's why I'm taking a harder position on this. Ordinarily, I don't. And there have been times I've totally not had any civil penalties. But I would like to keep that in abeyance right now, so we have it if it turns out what we're hearing is not true. Why couldn't we just say, he says he can only pay $500 a month. Why can't we see if he could pay the $500 a month and do it. You know, he's really had several months to do $500 a month. He's only done 1 month, but let him do it the other, for the next 6 months, let's say, and then let's see where we are. And in the meantime, let's see where we are with that homeowners group. I just feel a commitment to the people. The older lady who had, she's on oxygen and she had no help and nobody was reacting and then nobody was reacting and then nobody was reacting. The only time we really got reaction was when we put those civil penalties on. And I'm not saying that in the end, okay, I would feel adamant about getting the civil penalties. I just want to see if what's been done and really done towards the time of this meeting, not done throughout the whole time. If it's been done, if it goes that way, then we can forget the civil penalties, but I hate not to have it there now because I think that's what got us going in the first place. So I'm sorry. That's how I feel. And if you feel differently, then you feel differently, but I would like to move that we request, or whatever it is you do, Devin, $500 a month, and then have a 6-month review. Leave the other as it exists now, but then have a 6-month review and see where we go from there.
All right.
Mayor Goodman,
yes.
Please. Mr. Jerbick is gone. There he is. My question is, what role do we have with regard to the HOA? There's been some discussion that this gentleman reformed it. He's got 5 or 7 tenants paying into it. But do we really have the jurisdiction to ask him how he's doing with his HOA and whether people are paying and all that stuff?
In my opinion, no. This is largely governed by state law HOAs. I'm not even quite sure if this HOA is the kind of HOA that's described in state law, but that is not the subject of what's before you today.
Okay, and that is basically my point. I think, Councilwoman, your heart's in the right place, but I don't think that we have the power to say how are you doing with your HOA or not. There's other agencies or other boards that regulate that.
Then let me pull that motion I made and re-motion it as setting the $500 a month. See if we get it regularly for the next 6 months. See then if tenant requests are met as far as below quality of living in there. Can I say that?
I don't think so.
You don't think I can? Okay, then I'll say the first part. Well, it's very difficult sometimes to understand, and I understand what you're saying there, and I appreciate that. But for example, this building was built before there was a landscaping plan. I will tell you, if it had come before us now for a landscaping plan, what there is there, and there are dead trees there. As a farmer, I've been out there, they're dead. Not all of them. A few of them have come back up after they were, what the gardeners call all chopped up. But in any case, I just feel that we should try and collect the $500 a month and then leave everything else as it is until we see what happens.
All right.
From that 6 months.
All right, I understand the motion. $500 a month, 6-month review.
Yes.
And that's it. That's the motion. Please vote.
Well, I'm confused. What about the civil penalties?
Well, I want to leave that the way it was.
Basically, that's all. They're still intact.
Well, I'm sorry, but this was voted on in July. This group voted for those civil penalties in July.
Let me understand the motion, because I think
the civil penalties are still intact pursuant to this motion.
Right. Are there new civil penalties imposed in addition to what was already imposed?
No.
Okay.
We already voted on it before.
That's the motion.
And my feeling was that that's what got us some action.
Okay,
question on the motion, please.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem.
If we was to ask Councilwoman Tarkanian to remove the civil penalties at this time, with a 6-month review, if nothing's been done, if he's not paying his $500 like he's supposed to, could we at that time reinstate the civil penalty?
That's a good question. I know that you were asking me that a moment ago, Councilor Reese. I think that the safe thing to do would be to leave them in place right now. I think that once you forgive them, there would be a strong argument that you have considered something that you received in return and that they're gone, and the only thing you could do is put new civil penalties in that had not yet been imposed for a new period of time. So I would recommend leaving them in place if you want to keep them there right now as kind of a lever to make sure you get what you need to get out of this property, and remove them at that time.
And he wouldn't have to. Excuse me.
I will support the motion as presented on record what Councilman or what our city attorney just referred it to as this is the best way to go. So I'm going to support the councilwoman on this item.
Question on the motion, Mayor.
Councilor Barlow.
Once again, the total number for the civil penalties. I don't believe that was answered. And if so, please reiterate it because I'm still missing the daily civil penalties. What is incurred?
It was somewhere in the range of $500,000, $500,000.
Well, you're saying somewhere. Is there somewhere in the city where that's in black and white, Devin?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't have the backup with me because all this has been on the record, so I didn't.
So $500,000 of daily civil penalties?
Yes.
And secondly, what is the value of the property in question? If just ballpark, the properties in question.
Today, a lot less than I paid for it a year ago, honestly, but I'm in it for the long term.
I understand that, but what is the approximate guesstimate value of the properties in question right now?
I would guess probably around 30 to 40,000 a unit, 19, so maybe 800,000 of the 1924 total. So
right, so roughly a little bit over $500,000, and you're over $500,000 in daily civil penalties.
Correct.
Thank you.
I just would like to say, basically, he asked what civil penalties were incurred, and 1.2 million were incurred. And then when we voted, we knocked it down to 500,000. And you've owned it for 4 years?
No, ma'am.
How many?
I just celebrated a year anniversary in August.
Year anniversary, okay.
All right, there's a motion. I'm going to call for the vote. The motion is $500 a month with a 6-month review, which would, by implication, continue the civil penalties during that period of time. Let's vote on that, please. Host? Okay. Motion carries.
Your Honor, just for the record, I will, when I get back to my office, I will look up and see the actual numbers and have those forwarded to each of your offices.
I don't know why it wasn't.
I don't know either.
As you usually do it, you usually include all that material, and this time we didn't have it in front of us.
And I was not aware that it wasn't in this backup.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
See you in 6 months. Item 37 is a public hearing to consider the report of expenses to recover costs for abatement of dangerous building demolition located at 620 Madison Avenue in the amount of $9,704.60 and assess a maximum of $94,000 in daily civil penalties. The property owner is Bank Deutsche National, TRCO, TRS, in Ward 5. It's a public hearing which is now declared open.
Again, Mayor and Council, Devin Smith, Manager of Neighborhood Response. The purpose and background is that the condition of the property was a public hazard and an attractive nuisance. The Department of Neighborhood Services declared the property in violation and started a legal notification. When no corrective action was taken, nor an appeal filed, the Department of Neighborhood Services hired Baldwin Development, LLC, to demolish the structure to the City of Las Vegas specification, remove trash, refuse, waste, and dilapidated wooden perimeter fence, and post no trespassing, no dumping, no vehicle signs on site. On February 20th, 2009, an asbestos survey was conducted by CAMAIR. To date, there have been 3 inspections conducted at this location. The value of the property based on the sale date of August 2008 was $299,275. The recommendation is that the City Council approve the report of expenses to include a $7,499 invoice to Baldwin Development and an $825 invoice to CAMAIR Asbestos Survey, in addition to other fees, and assess a total of $9,704.60 and consider assessing a maximum of $94,000 in daily civil penalties.
All right, thank you. Any questions of Mr. Smith? Folks, are the property owners here? The Bank Deutsche National, TRCO, TRS? All right, it's a public hearing. Would anyone like to be heard?
My name's Hodges. I got only one thing to say. It's another one of them bank deals. Look at it good.
Anybody else like to be heard on the public hearing? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Barlow.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to move to recommend to this council that we recoup the cost of $9,704.60 to be returned to our general fund and that there be a 50% reduction in the daily civil penalties, and that would be my motion at
So
this
that'd be
time.
47,000, is that correct?
Yes, 47,000.
All right, that's a motion. Let's vote, please.
Thank you.
Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 38 is a public hearing to consider the report of expenses to recover costs for abatement of vacant or abandoned dangerous building located at 1212 Tumbleweed Avenue in the amount of $1,252.10 and assess a maximum of $24,500 in daily civil penalties. The property owner is Fernando and Tracy Jimenez, and this is in Ward 5. It's a public hearing which is now declared open. Mr. Smith.
Again, Mayor and Council, Devin Smith, Manager of Neighborhood Response. The purpose and background of the condition of property was a public hazard and an attractive nuisance. The Department of Neighborhood Services declared the property in violation and started legal notification. When no corrective action was taken or an appeal filed, the Department of Neighborhood Services hired American Demolition to board all open doors and windows into the main structure, remove all trash, debris, high grass, and weeds. To date, there have been 5 inspections conducted at this location. The value of the property based on the sale date of June 2002 was $122,500. The recommendation is that the City Council approve the report of expenses to include a $974 invoice for work completed by American Demolition, in addition to other fees assessed for a total of $1,252.10, and consider assessing a maximum of $24,500 in daily civil penalties.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Any questions, Mr. Smith? All right, is the property owner here, Fernando and Tracy Jimenez? All right, it's a public hearing, if anyone would like to be heard. Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Barlow.
Yes, Mayor, I would like to ask or recommend to this council that we recoup $1,252.10 to our general fund, and also assess a daily civil penalty 50% less of the $24,500.
Okay.
That would be my motion.
All right, that's the motion. Let's vote on that, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you.
Mayor Goodman, please.
Yes.
Just a question, Mr. Smith. Based upon the last 2 or 3 actions of the council, where we voted to assess the recovering of the costs plus the civil penalties, when are these properties liened based upon the council's actions today?
Within the next 2 to 3 days.
So within just a few days at the recorder's office?
Yes. These will be recorded at the Clark County Recorder's Office.
And it's available to any member of the public who wants to consider buying or taking over these properties. If there's a title search done, they'll see these liens at the recorder's office.
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Mayor, real quick, Mr.
Yes.
Smith, last couple council meetings, we had an issue in regards to the liens not showing up and new owners purchasing properties and finding out after the close of escrow that these liens are in place. What have we done differently from the last council meeting to this council meeting to make sure that those liens are up front so that the new property owners will know that these liens are in place?
What has happened in the last 2 times is the liens weren't actually in place yet. What happens is as soon as we have an action on a property, we go and record a notice and order on the property, which is a legal document that is recorded and does show up on title search that the city has an action against the property. If somebody was to go and check the assessor's office or do a title search, that does show up. And conversations that I've had with the city attorney's office, we do believe that that's a very legal document. If it was challenged, that we would definitely win. But we're also looking at different ways of imposing a lien immediately on the property, because what happens is when Clark County sells the properties or auctions them off, they're not required by law to advise of any liens on the property or any action except for a government lien. So what we're looking to do is, as we put the notice and order on the property or do some different things that would cloud the title even more than we do now, that a fee or fine would have to be paid and we would hold up the sale of the property until the action was corrected or an agreement was made to correct
Now, when
the
you
action.
said government lien, please define what government and how we are different from the government.
Because when we place the notice and order at that time, there's no lien on the property. It's just a recorded document that says we have an action against the property, and there could be a potential lien against the property.
But you mentioned the county assessor only will place a government lien on a property.
They will only advise of a government lien.
What is a government lien?
Once you place the lien on the property, as we have done, as soon as my staff goes and records that and places the lien on the property, at that point, once the property would sell, that lien would have to be satisfied prior to the sale. The notice and order is simply a document letting the purchaser or potential purchaser know that there is an action. And if they did their due diligence, they would pull that up and see what the possible action could be, as many purchasers or real estate people will call my office and they will ask, I see that there's a notice and order on the property. What is the action, or what is the possible action? What are the fees that are currently owned? Then, as the transaction has taken place, we agree to lift the notice and order. If the hard costs are paid in the closing of escrow, then we would pull the notice and order on the property, and there would never be an action by the council to place the daily civils.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
All right. Item 43 is discussion and possible action regarding approval of a change of ownership for a beer wine cooler on sale license from Victor Aranda to Juan Manuel Marino Lepe, doing business as El Shabizal at 1054 North Rancho Drive, and this is in Ward 5. Ms. Meyer.
Mayor, members of council, the applicant before us today has submitted all of the requirements, or met all of the requirements necessary for consideration of temporary approval of this beer wine cooler on sale license, and my recommendation would be approval subject to any conditions. And he's here to tell you a little bit about his business or answer any questions you may have.
Would you be kind enough to identify yourself?
Your Honor, Charles Rodasevich, counsel for Mr. Moreno, who is here, the applicant. He has been the manager at that restaurant for approximately 7 years. He's knowledgeable on all areas of the business, and has operated the business in a good fashion over this course of time. He's made arrangements to purchase the business and continue forward, and I'm sure he'll do well in that capacity. Mr. Moreno's English is limited, and my Spanish is passable, I guess. So,
okay.
If you have any questions, we can ask.
Mr. Moreno, would you like to be heard? All right.
Have you said either? No.
No, he would not. Okay, fair enough. Are there any questions of either Ms. Meyer or the gentleman?
Yes. What are the cross streets?
It's Rancho and right off Washington.
Oh, what side? Are we talking by the?
It's in a plaza called Twin Plaza.
Oh, the Twin Plaza.
Twin Plaza.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Does he have a specialty? You could get some free advertising here.
Mexican food, very good.
All right. Okay, Councilor Barlow.
Yes, I would like to move for approval and congratulate the gentleman and wish him luck, and I look forward to coming over and testing his food.
Buena suerte.
Very good. Let's vote on that, please. Post. Motion carries. Good luck, gentlemen.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Item 45 is discussion and possible action regarding an appeal of work card denial for Gina Morning, doing business as Bilo Market 4 at 1061 West Owens Avenue in Ward 5. This morning, why don't you come forward? All right.
Mayor, council, this morning is here today to seek appeal of her work card denial, and the Las Vegas Municipal Code 6.86150 subsection D states, in addition to any written briefs, exhibits, or other documentation submitted on behalf of the applicant's appeal, the applicant or his or her legal counsel shall attend, make an opening statement, and be prepared to make oral arguments to the City Council in support of the appeal. Any criminal history of the applicant relied on by Metro as a basis for the denial, suspension, or revocation of the applicant's work card and referenced by the applicant during his or her appeal shall become part of the public record and may be openly discussed during the appeal hearing. And Ms. Morning is here, so I will turn the time over to her.
As I understand it, Ms. Morning's, she has the approval of Bilo Market to engage in the activity that she applied for. Is that correct?
That is correct, and you all have your investigative books.
Right, and Bilo has been fully apprised of her prior record.
Correct.
All right, Ms. Morning, happy to hear from you.
Yes, my name is Gina Morning, and I'm trying to apply for my work card, and I got denied for the foolish things I've done in the past. I understand that by doing that is put a toll on me, and I'm suffering behind it now, and I want to get a chance to get my work card to move up and show society and myself that I am fit for society. I've changed a lot, and so I can do better. You know, I want to go higher.
All right, who's the gentleman who's with you?
That's my boss.
All right, could you identify yourself for the record, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Alfredo Alvarado, and the store director at the Bilo.
Okay, and what type of work would Miss Morning be doing?
She would be involved at cashier.
Okay, and you're aware of her prior issues?
Correct.
And notwithstanding that, you desire that she work in that capacity?
I'm confident. I've worked with her for the past 3 to 6 months and demonstrated a lot of maturity, and more than anything, you know, I feel that people deserve, you know, chances in life and keeping going forward.
All right, thank you, sir. Are there any questions of Ms. Meyer, Ms. Morning, or her employer? All right, this is Councilman Barlow.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. And good afternoon now to Alfredo and Ms. Morning. Thank you so very much. Ms. Morning, understanding from what you stated and without going into too much detail in regards to your history, you do understand the significance of the work card and that being impeding upon you being able to move forward and be a productive citizen in the community. You do understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And I believe, you know, you should be thankful, if you're not, for an employer coming forward and giving you an opportunity to be fully and gainfully employed, specifically at this location. I know the owners as well as the management team, and they do a wonderful job with trying to give everyone in the community an opportunity to work. And so I just ask that you be an example and set an example that a positive example this second time around versus what the example in which you were setting prior.
Yes.
And good luck to you. I would like to recommend to this council that we do give you an opportunity to be gainfully employed, specifically in a time in which employers have thousands of people to choose from who don't have a record.
Right.
You understand that?
Yes, I do.
And for them to give you a chance amidst those individuals whom will have who have a work card but are unemployed, who's looking for work, would love to have the opportunity that you're being recommended for today. And so one thing that stands out for me is the fact that the employer is standing here with you, understanding some of the trials and tribulations in which you had to face previously, and now giving you that second opportunity. It sets up for a good and positive feeling for me to move forward with the recommendation of approval of your work card. So that would be my motion at this time, and thank you, Alfredo, for coming forward as well in regards to supporting your employee.
Did you want to follow the recommendation of a site-specific work card with a 6-month review?
I would like to do a site-specific with a year review.
All right, that's the motion. Let's vote. Host? Motion carries. Ms. Morning, make us proud, please.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Item 50 is R71 2009. Discussion and possible action. I don't have it. Pardon me? Okay, item 46, R71-2009. May the record reflect that the agenda item is designated 50. It's really 46. So if anybody is confused, that's the reason why. R71-2009, discussion and possible action regarding a resolution consenting to the undertakings of the City of Las Vegas Redevelopment Agency in connection with the Commercial Visual Improvement Program, agreement between the RDA and NECAL Associates, LLC, the owner located at 1112 South Casino Center Boulevard, to be in compliance with and in furtherance of the goals and objectives of the RDA. This is in Ward 3, and this item is related to the Redevelopment Agency item number 5, which we heard this morning. Mr. Arndt?
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, Bill Arndt, Acting Director, Office of Business Development. As you noted, Mayor, this is related to the item that we heard on the discussion at this morning's Redevelopment Agency meeting. Staff recommends approval of this VIP grant with the subject to the condition that the maximum grant award be of $16,540, with the understanding that council is going to be working with the applicant to bring back a second agreement to provide additional funding to the business, which would take the total funding into the business of $50,000. Staff recommends approval.
Any question, Mr. Arndt? Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes, I move to follow staff's recommendation for approval of this item and redevelopment agency's recommendations.
Thank you. Let's vote, please. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 47 is an abeyance item. Civil Service Board of Trustees, Johan Alisio's term, expires September 19, 2009. Does any member of the council wish to appoint a new member?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Yes.
We have a person in our midst that has represented the city of Las Vegas. He volunteered to be a temporary city councilman. He has a desire to continue to serve. And one reason why I'm going to recommend Dave Steinman for this position is I don't think he's ever missed a meeting, and I think he's very studious. I think he knows what he's voting for or voting on. He's very dependable, and I think he's a very honest person that would really serve this board well. So I'd put the name of David Steinman up for appointment this time, Your Honor.
Very good. Let's vote on that, please. Post.
Mr. Mayor, could I just ask what's the duty of this board? I voted for the candidate, but I just was wondering what the duty of the board was.
All right.
Civil Service.
Does anyone wish to take that on,
Yes.
Mr.?
Actually, they deal with Metropolitan Police Department's personnel actions, approving promotional lists, approving personnel lists, primarily with the Las Vegas Police Department.
So outside of Metro, they have a city-appointed civil service board that goes over promotions?
Yeah, it's a civilian body appointed by government officials that oversees the personnel department for the police department. I'm sure there's a whole history behind why they needed civilian oversight, but that's what it's about.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman, for that explanation. All right, there's a motion. Did we vote on that? All right, it carried. Very good. All right, item 48 is Department of Transportation Regional Advisory Committee. Jorge Cervantes, his term expires October 3, 2009. The options are to reappoint Mr. Cervantes or a new member.
Your Honor, I reappoint Mr. Cervantes, please.
Very good. Let's vote on that, please. Post.
Even if he doesn't want the job.
Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Cervantes. Okay, item 49 is Bill number 2009-38, an ordinance creating Special Improvement District number 1514, Ann Road and Cimarron Road west of Leggett Road. Councilman Barlow, do you wish to have it read?
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilman. Thank you, Your Honor. Bill number 2009-38, an ordinance creating the City of Las Vegas, Nevada Special Improvement District number 1514, Ann Road and Cimarron Road west of Leggett Road, describing details connection therewith and other matters relating thereto.
Did you want to be heard, sir?
Yes.
Yes, please come forward. Give us your name.
My name is Tim Murphy. I reside at 7900 Kiowa Circle, which is just above the proposed area. I had a few questions when I met with a few of the councilmen yesterday on the discussion meeting, but there was a couple other questions we have come up with. The property that are adjacent to Ann Road was previously rezoned office professional, and it has not been yet developed. The property next to it is owned privately, which has got about, the first property is about 280 feet, and there is a proposed development there that has never went forward. So I'm kind of questioning why now the city is going to put in the improvements that would have been assessed to the developer that had previously made that development. And to bring you up to date, that particular development originally was brought forward to the neighborhood, people around the neighborhood there that objected to the project. It was brought forward originally by a family that bought 3 properties that are backed up to our particular cul-de-sac, which we developed in 1990. So we all objected to this project being going forward. It was 2 weeks after the council approved this project, which was a halfway decent project. It had low-profile buildings that would, relate to residential. But that project was thrown out, and by their own source, the people themselves decided not to go for that project and put the property up for sale. 2 weeks after this committee approved that property to be office professional. Not only they put it up for sale for $3.2 million. It then sold for, I believe, $1.8 million to the current owners. The current owners came back with a project that wasn't acceptable by the conditions that we had set forth, even though we did object to the whole project, and they had to go back for a redesign, which to this date has basically never went forward.
And your specific question that you'd like to have answered?
Well, why is the city now putting the improvements in that the developer would have had to put in?
All right, Mr. Cervantes,
and
are you able to answer?
What the expenses are going to be assessed back to those people. And one of my other questions is that they're going to develop the sidewalk and curbs down Cimarron, and I believe, which we didn't really discuss yesterday, that there's now a signal that's going to be put in at Cimarron and Ann Road. To bring the committee or the councilman up to date, Cimarron is a dead-end street in both directions where it crosses Ann Road. Dead ends into Painted Desert, and it dead ends into basically the back end of the town center properties.
I hope the traffic light is synchronized then.
It's just, I would feel that there's a lot more traffic lights that are in need more so than what's going in there.
Okay, Mr. Cervantes, can you help the gentleman?
Before it does that, can I ask, be specific, Mr. Cervantes, would you help Mr. Murphy understand how a special improvement district works? And then you can elaborate on how we make decisions on where traffic control devices go, or they don't go.
For the record, Jorge Cervantes, Department of Public Works. The way a special improvement district works is that a property owner initiates a request for improvements to be done, or the city initiates a request for improvements to be done. The improvements of infrastructure are done, and the cost of that improvement is assessed back to the adjacent property owners that are receiving that improvement. In this particular case, the improvement district that's being created is for improvements along Cimarron and improvements along Ann Road. There are no improvements along Leggett being done as part of this property. The improvements along Ann Road are pavement and curb only. There's no sidewalks or street light along Ann Road. As these properties develop, they'll do the sidewalk and street lights. The improvements along Cimarron is pavement and curve, except for the residential area that's already developed. There they are putting in the street light and sidewalk. Now the cost of all these improvements are being assessed back to the property owner. So the property that you mentioned here that got rezoned a couple of years ago is going to pay for those improvements. So the city isn't paying for it. That cost incurs back to the property owner. And so the ones that you referenced were these right here that were rezoned, and at this point I'm not aware of any permits that have come in to be issued for improvements on that property.
Yeah, they basically, under the situation where we are today, I don't think they went forward with the project there. And like I said, the other concern was basically the signal there. I think, I don't know why.
Yeah, so just a signal. That's part.
We could have a signal on every corner if everybody wanted a signal, but we've got places in this town that come on the news every day that are wondering why we haven't went forward with signals, and this is a particular area that has, Cimarron has no traffic on it.
Yeah. To address the signal, there's no signal work being done with this project. There's some underground infrastructure that gets put in as part of the infrastructure for a future signal, but there's no signal going in with the project.
Okay, that wasn't put forward yesterday.
And Your Honor, if I can,
yes.
Through the mayor, Mr. Murphy, you made some comments at yesterday's recommending committee making statements, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the city is helping these people that own these properties. We're not doing that for the property owners adjacent to Ann Road and Cimarron. We're doing this for all the 15,000 cars and trucks and school buses that go up and down Ann Road. This is truly a public safety issue. We have waited a long time to improve this little zigzag, seesaw, whatever you want to call it, on Ann Road. My office is inundated with telephone calls and emails about how unsafe the traffic conditions are out there. In today's environment, specifically with construction costs way down. If we'd have done this 2 or 3 years ago, they'd be much more. So that's why I wanted Mr. Cervantes to explain that special improvement district process to you. These property owners are going to be paying for it. We're not doing this for them. We're doing this for the residents that travel east and west on Ann Road and north and south on Cimarron. So that's the big issue here. So I just hope you understand it.
Yeah, I understand that part of it. I just wanted to clarify it, and because it wasn't, it wasn't really. We don't get a posting as a neighborhood of this action going on. I found out it by some other people that brought it to our attention. But at the end of this agenda, I would like to address at the very end of the second part of the agenda another circumstance.
Well, that's fine. We have citizens' participation. All right. Appreciate that. Now, Councilman Barlow, do you have a motion, please?
Yes, move for approval.
All right, let's vote, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. And now, item 50, new bills, items 50 and 51, bills 2009-39 and 2009-40 will be heard at the recommending committee meeting on Tuesday, October 6th, 2009. Would you please read those, Mr. Gerbert?
I will be happy to, Your Honor. Bill number 2009-39, an ordinance designated by the short-term 2009 medium-term bond ordinance providing for the issuance of the City of Las Vegas of its registered negotiable general obligation limited tax medium-term bonds, Main Street Parking Garage Series 2009, in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $15 million for the purpose of acquiring, constructing, equipping, and improving a parking garage at 500 South Main Street to be used for the Smith Center and other city properties, providing covenants, agreements, and other details concerning the bonds, the project, and general tax proceeds, providing action previously taken and pertaining to the foregoing by the city and its officers and employees, and providing for other matters relating thereto. And finally, Bill number 2009-40, an ordinance to prohibit the parking of a mobile billboard within 500 feet of a single-family dwelling and to provide for other related matters.
All right, thank you. Councilman Barlow, will you be available that date?
Yes, sir.
Very good. And Councilman Anthony, will you be available? Yes, sir. Very good. Then you're assigned these bills, and we'll be in recess until, since everybody's on a diet, with the exception of Councilman Barlow and myself, and Councilman Anthony, he's not on a diet, but everybody else is on a diet around here. We'll be back here at 1:30. 1:30.
We're just waiting for them to come over and fill our cup. Which means we need some more. Oh, you already did that? Well, in that case, I have two more. Did Margot get one? Here. Yes. No, we're good.
Short meeting. You promise? You'll start hard? Public hearing items. Don't say that out loud. I didn't say it. The argument will book. But they nailed that off.
Sound is good.
Oh, I see. Council members show. I didn't say that. I didn't say that before. I didn't use those. I know what you're thinking of.
Thank you. Thank you.
You stole my date.
What, 9/9? Right. That's a good thing. You won't forget it.
That's what I thought.
That's it. That's a good one. That's a good one. Take your time. Take your time. Yes. Is it really? Oh, boy. That's a good thing. Colonel, how are you?
Real good. How you doing, Mayor?
You're in good shape. How we doing? Okay, we're all set? Good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll call item number 52. Any items from the afternoon session that the council, staff, and/or the applicant wish to be stricken or held in abeyance to a future meeting may be brought forward and acted upon at this time. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have item number 66. It's RQR 34682, applicant Clear Channel Outdoor LLC owner, Right Path LLC, an off-premise sign at 820 South Valley Boulevard. Councilman Tarkanian has asked that to be held in advance until our December the 16th, 2009 meeting. Item 71 through 74 is a couple of variances, 32640 and 33015, special use permit 32639, and site development review 32638, applicant Metropolitan Homes owner Asani Razia and Sarahan Ganay on 2.16 acres adjacent to the west side of Decatur Boulevard, approximately 1,000 feet south of Lake Mead Boulevard. The applicant requests that be held in advance until our October 7th, 2009 meeting. Item 75, 76, and 77, another variance 34008, special use permit 34006, and site development review 34010, applicant American West Petroleum owner FAM Capital LLC at the southwest corner of Sahara Avenue and Valley View Boulevard. The applicant requests that to be held in advance until our October 7, 2009 meeting. Item 78 is a special use permit 34016, applicant Clear Wireless LLC owner LXT4 LLC, approximately 560 feet north of Meadows Lane and approximately 530 feet east of Decatur Boulevard. The applicant wishes that to be held in advance until our October 7, 2009 meeting. Items 80 and 81 is a GPA 34597, a special use permit 34598, applicant Dr. Arthur Weathers, owner 2701 Westwood LLC on 1.45 acres at 2701 Westwood Drive. The applicant's withdrawn that without prejudice. And item 86 is the site development review 469, applicant owner Cardin Lindell North LLC on 4.01 acres at 5550 West Sarah Avenue. The applicant requests that to be held in advance until our October the 21st, 2009 meeting. Council members, at this time, are there any other items we need to bring forward? Hearing none, Your Honor, make a
If I
motion.
may, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, item 85, the SUP 34859 applicant Fun City Motel, was that item going to be obeyed?
Yes.
And to what date, sir?
October the 7th.
Okay, fine then, thank you.
Add that one also, item 85. Are there any other items? Thank you, Margot. Hearing none, Your Honor, make a motion we bring these items forward, take the appropriate action, please.
Thank you very much. Let's vote on that, please. Vote. Motion carries. Thank you. Items 53 through 61 are on the consent agenda. They're considered to be routine. They're recommended for approval by the Department of Planning and Development. May I have a motion, please, to approve the consent agenda items 53 through 61?
Yes, Your Honor, move to approve those items with all of staff's conditions, please, following staff's recommendation.
Thank you. Let's vote, please. Opposed? Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Items 62 through 70 may be considered in one motion, one vote. They're considered routine, non-public, and public hearing items with no condition changes. So any person representing an application or a member of the public or member of the council not in agreement with the conditions and all standard conditions for the application recommended by staff should request to have that item removed from this portion of the agenda. Does anybody want to remove any of the items 62 through 70 for independent consideration?
I would like to pull item 68 forward, please.
All right, 68 forward. Anybody else? Okay. Item 62 is DIR 35264, a non-public hearing. The applicant owner is the Howard Hughes Corporation. Required review of an annual development report is required by Section 11.01 of the Howard Hughes Properties Limited Partnership for the Summerlin West area, generally located west of the I-215 Beltway and north of Charleston Boulevard. That's in Ward 2. 63 is EOT 34971, extension of time, non-public hearing, variance. Applicant is Ahern Reynolds, the owner of is DFA LLC, requests an extension of time of an approved variance to allow a wall to contain no contrasting material or 20% contrasting material is required on 20.53 acres at the northeast corner of Bonanza Road and Clarkway Drive in Ward 5. 64 is EOT 34972, extension of time, site development plan review, non-public hearing. The applicant is Ahern Reynolds. The owner is DFA LLC. Request for extension of time for an approved major amendment to an approved site development plan review for a commercial development of 30,000 square feet of hardware store, 30,000 square feet of office space, 40,000 square feet of covered storage area, and 60,000 square feet of auto repair garage major with a waiver of perimeter landscape requirements to allow a 10-foot wide buffer where 15 feet is required along the south property line on 20.53 acres at the northeast corner of Bonanza Road and Clarkway Drive in Ward 5. 965 is DIR 356626, a water feature exemption, non-public hearing. The applicant owner is Cortabella Community Association. Request to allow the operation of a 205 square foot water feature at the entrance of 1900 Cortabella Lane in Ward 2. 67 is RQR 34844, required 1 year review of public hearing. The applicant is CBS Outdoor. The owner is WMC3 Associates LLC. Required review of an approved rezoning which allowed an existing 80-foot high, 14-foot by 48-foot off-premise sign on property bounded by US 95, I-15, and Grand Central Parkway in Ward 5. 69 is VAC 35041, vacation. The public hearing. The applicant is JHR Associates. The owner, Rebel Oil Company, petitioned to vacate a 10-foot wide public sewer easement located on the east side of Pecos Road, approximately 140 feet south of Washington Avenue, Ward 3. And number 70 is VAC 35041, a vacation. The public hearing. The applicant is JHR Associates. The owner is Rebel Oil Company, petitioned to vacate a 10-foot wide public sewer easement located on the east side of Pecos Road, approximately 140 feet south of Washington Avenue, Ward 3. The Planning Commission and staff recommended approval for all these items. Items 67, 69, and 70 are public hearings, which I now declare open. Is there anyone who wishes to be heard on those particular matters? I see none, so I'm going to close the public hearing. May I have a motion then on items 62 through 70, with the exception of 66 and 68?
Yes, Your Honor, make a motion. I'll pass recommendation to approve these items.
Pardon me?
Okay.
With all conditions, I make a motion to follow Planning Commission staff recommendation for approval of these items.
Okay, let's vote on that, please. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We'll now call item number 68, SUP 35049, special use permit, public hearing. The applicant is Tune and Lube Plus. The owner is Charleston Plaza. Request for special use permit for a proposed 1,820 square foot auto repair garage minor at 1752 East Charleston Boulevard in Ward 3.
Yes, Your Honor. The applicant is not present. I've had problems with this location before. I just wanted to make some clarifications on the record. I would make a motion to hold this in advance for until October the 7th meeting so we can get the applicant present.
Very good. That's the motion. Let's vote, please. Opposed?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much. $79? Okay. 79 is ROC 35306. Review of condition, a public hearing. The applicant is Harmony 2 LLC. The owner is Harmony 2 LLC and Farm Wallapai LLC. Request for a review of condition to change condition number 6 of a previously approved site development plan review to allow a side yard setback of 3 feet where 5 feet is the minimum required for all lots of a 70-lot residential subdivision with the exception of 5, 9, 13, 16, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 28, 29, 30, 35, 58, and 60 on 10.52 acres on the east side of Tonkinese Avenue and Wallapai Way. The staff recommends denial. This is a public hearing, which I now declare open. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Council. My name is John Rhodes, representing the applicant, 7220 Cimarron, Suite 100. We're coming before you today asking for a variance for 3-foot side yards in this community. This was initially on the tentative map, but when we came through previously, we didn't request the 3-foot side yards, and we're just asking that we can again have the 3-foot side yards on the homes there.
Very good. Any questions of Mr. Rhodes? All right, folks, a public hearing, if anyone would like to be heard. All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Councilman Ross?
Thank you.
Did you have a question?
Yeah, Mayor.
Yes, Councilman Anthony.
I just want to make a comment. This 3-foot, the 3-foot setback between houses just seems like it's not a lot of room between two homes, and I just get concerned about fire issues and crime issues and access and privacy issues and the aesthetics of what the neighborhood looks like. I just don't like to have houses that close, so I can't support having 3-foot setbacks. I think 5 feet is much better for that neighborhood and that community, so I just wanted to make that comment.
Okay, Councilman Ross?
Sound familiar, Mr. Rhodes?
Yes.
Because I've echoed some of the same concerns.
You have.
And I kind of want, Director, tentative map, I guess, 4 approved 5-foot setbacks.
If I may, Mayor and Councilman, yes, previously that they came in with a project that was approved with the 3-foot setbacks. Then that one expired, and then the next one came back with the 5 feet. So essentially, as the applicant indicated, what they're requesting is to go back to their originally approved project that had the 3 feet.
And that was in 04?
Yes, sir.
And you've got a different product now, I guess, that you wanted to try.
We are adding one more floor plan to the community. So there's 2 floor plans, and those will remain for sale in the community, and those have the 5-foot side yards. We've also, on the map, which you've seen, show that any house that's already been sold in that community We're not going to come build a house with a 3-foot side yard next to it, so we've left an unsold lot between any potential lot that could have the 3-foot side yard and an already standing house there, so that those people won't be surprised by having a 3-foot side yard next to them after they bought a house where they didn't anticipate that could happen.
Thank you. And Your Honor, just to mention Councilman Anthony's concerns, Mr. Rhodes, Councilman, is keenly aware of my concerns about this. I mean, that's 6 feet. We had that conversation.
Yes, we did.
But because he's almost got these built out, and that's kind of the priority for me, is to get these built out. I would like to remove, however, lots 1 and 7, and I think that was talked to you.
Yes.
You're familiar with that, so
I believe 1 and 70.
I'm sorry, 1 and 70.
Yes.
That's correct. With that, Your Honor, I would move to approve ROC 35306 with all conditions, adding those lots 1 and 70 into the exception.
Right, that would be, those 2 lots would be added to the language in the condition number 1 that's before you today.
And Mr. Rhodes, you're okay with that?
Yes, sir.
That's my motion, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I
Yes.
could, on the motion, please.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I mean, on the application, I just have one question. Why is he asking for the 3-yard setback instead of the 5 when we've already approved 5?
Because the sales team out there has told us people are requesting a little larger home than we are offering. And this is a home, and the only way that we can get that square footage onto those lots is by doing this side yard setbacks this way.
And just to add to that, Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem, those are, I don't want to hurt your feelings, Mr. Rhodes, those are small lots. They're already small lots. And so, you know, I see what he's trying to do. The neighbor, and half of them are sold already. People are living out there. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's not like somebody won't know what they're buying once they get out there. And some folks like that, apparently. So they're already tiny lots.
All right, very good. There's the motion. Let's vote on it, please. Post. Motion carries. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. 82 and 83. 82 is ROC 35500. Request for a review of condition number 5 of a previously approved special use permit to change the parking layout for the approved secondhand dealer. 83 is RQR 34160. Required review of a previously approved special use permit for a secondhand dealer. The applicant owner is Cecile Properties. The project is located at 420 East Sahara Avenue. The Planning Commission recommends approval on item 83, and staff recommends approval on item 82 and denial on item 83. These items are in Ward 3. They're public hearings, which are now declared open. Hi.
Hi. Lenny Scar, 7464 West Sahara, representing the applicant. This is for the gold exchange, which, in my opinion, should have been called the silver exchange, because primarily what she does here is she goes to estate sales and picks up elaborate candelabras, tea sets, and other items of that nature, along with some jewelry and some coins, and has those for sale in her store. When we came forward a year ago for the use permit, we had a different parking lot layout. The handicapped parking space was actually here.
Bless you.
We ran into a couple of issues around between March and June, which is why I asked for an abeyance on the required review at the Planning Commission, because I'll be honest, at that time, we weren't exactly positive what was going to happen, and I wasn't positive what application I was going to need. We had some utility work done, and you can see, first we had this guy wire extended out, and that put it in one of the parking spaces we'd shown on our original plan. Then the water district came in and added a vault and some bollards, and that compromised another space. And so we had to come back and rearrange the parking in order to get the required number of spaces. And so the original condition a year ago said the parking lot had to be striped per the plan I turned in that year. And so the review of condition is to allow us to meet the parking requirements but to have a different striping pattern on the lot. And then our required one-year review. And as you can see in your report, we've had no issues with either Metro or business licensing. They have a clean record. She conducts a very respectable business there, and we ask for your support.
All right, thank you. Any questions? Folks, the public hearing, would you like to be heard? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing then. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yes, Your Honor. On item 82, I move to follow staff recommendation for approval of this item.
Let's vote, please. Post. Motion carries.
And on item 83, before I make the motion, I want to thank Manny for her thoroughness. I appreciate you being here today and making your presentation. I think people understand it, so I know staff recommended now on this one, but I'm going to go against staff because I think it's adequate, and I'm going to make a motion to follow Planning Commission's recommendation for approval with all conditions, please.
Very good. Let's vote, please. Post.
Can you guys hear me?
Motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you. Have
You're
a good day.
You too. 84 is RQR 35347, required review, public hearing. The applicant owner is Mario Pina. Required review of a previously approved special use permit for an auto repair garage minor with service bay doors facing the right-of-way at 1550 North Rancho Drive. This is in Ward 5. The staff recommends denial. It's a public hearing which is now open. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, City Council. Steve Altig. I'm appearing actually for Mr. Ibarra, who is a secondary license holder for that same location. We were told that his matter would be placed on the same calendar to be heard today.
I don't think that's been the case. Can somebody help me with that?
I'm sorry, sir. What?
Is it, are you referring to the hot dog stand?
Yes.
Okay. That's what he's talking about.
Well, where was the hot dog stand? Councilman Barlow?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it. This item is not before us. I do have concerns in regards to it, but Mayor, being that it's not agendized, we can't take action on the license of the hot dog stand. So I'll be happy to speak with you and your client. And as a matter of fact, I highly recommend that we speak because I do have some concerns in respect to the stand itself. So I'll send someone out from my office to get your contact information so that we can set up some time to meet, and we can go from there to address the issues that I have in respect to your client.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Councilor, what's your position on 84 as presently read?
Well, I was hoping that Mr. Garcia, who was representing the tire shop, would be here. I've been in communication with him all week as well as today, and he's not here. So maybe if we can trail it for a moment, and let's see if I can get him on the phone and see if he's running behind Mayor, if you don't mind.
No, we'll trail 84 then. We'll go on to 87. 87 is SDR 35202, Site Development Plan Review and Public Hearing. Applicant owner, City of Las Vegas, request for a Site Development Plan Review for an existing 67-space parking lot and a proposed 96-space parking lot with waivers of the perimeter landscape buffer standards to allow buffers of 0 feet along the west perimeter and a portion of the south perimeter where 15 feet and 8 feet respectively are required on a portion of 6.59 acres at 1510 North Decatur Boulevard in Ward 5. The Planning Commission and staff both recommend approval, subject to conditions. It's a public hearing, which is now open. Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Mark Sorensen with the City of Las Vegas Department of Public Works. I'm here to represent the city on this issue and answer any questions and accept conditions.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions of the gentleman? Folks, public hearing. Happy to hear from you. All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing then, and I'll turn to Councilman Barlow.
Yes, Mayor. Give me just 1 second,
sure,
please.
Take your time.
Margot, question.
Yes, sir.
In regards to item number 87, was there any outstanding issues that we had in respect to this?
If I may, what we have worked out and the application before you at this time places the landscaping where this parking lot is adjacent to the existing park, and does not do the landscaping where there's additional land for future development. So what it's doing is placing the landscaping where it will remain permanently, and not placing it in a location where it would have to be removed for future additions. We believe this is an appropriate compromise, one which does place as much landscaping as is possible here and still allow for future additions. So that is why staff is recommending approval of the subject application.
Okay. So with that said, I'll move to follow staff's recommendation for approval of this item.
Thank you. Let's vote, please.
Subject to all conditions.
Thank you. Let's vote. Post. Motion carries.
Mayor, in regards to the previous item or the trailed item,
yes,
I would like to just go ahead and obey this item.
Okay, that's 84.
2 weeks.
All right, there's a motion to obey item 84 for 2 weeks. It's already been read into the record. That's the one involving Maria Pena Pena. Okay, let's vote on the abeyance. Post. Motion carries. Thank you. Item 88, Madam Clerk, would you please set the public hearing dates and appeals from the City Planning Commission meetings and dangerous buildings or nuisance litter abatements? Thank you. 99 is citizens' participation.
Thank you.
Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the City Council. So, no subject may be acted upon by the City Council unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, please come on up, give us your name, and we'll put the 3-minute timer on, please.
My name is Anthony Hardis, and before you put me on the 3 minutes, I got to say something concerning the city. Over the years, for 20-some years, I've been involved with Jan Jones and them. You have Stratosphere, you got that failure downtown they call Neonopolis on the U. But that Fremont Street, that cost $55 million. What I'm trying to say, and then that brain thing that you had, and all the good things that happened, you only had one failure, and that's Neonopolis. But anyway,
well, that's not mine, Mr. Hodge. I got to take issue with that. That's not mine.
Well, whatever. It ain't
that was there
okay, whatever.
That was. I'm not going to take responsibility for that.
Well, whatever. I won't throw it at you. Okay, now put me on the clock. Okay, I'm here to say that when they mentioned about the brain and the heart out of Cleveland, I had 2 children who was born in Cleveland before I came out west, and was at Weston. And Cleveland Clinton, all those great gatherings right there together. And so what I'm saying is that I took my electrical apprenticeship in Mr. Roth or whatever. I took Local 38 in Cleveland. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of things y'all have, I'm completely tied to a lot of those things. You know what I'm saying? Even my babies were born back there under those great, what you call it, institutes that, specialize, whatever. So what I'm saying is that it's world-renowned that it's a great heart, for the heart hospital. See, it ain't just number 1 in the United States. It's one of the finest heart places on the planet. Okay, well, let me get off of that. I'm here today to let you know that I'm very concerned about our country, and I got 3 letters here. I don't want to read it there. I'm just going to get to y'all because you're only getting your copies of it. Is that President Johnson and President Reagan and President Bush's father, I sent 2 telegrams and a personal letter to Lyndon Johnson. What I'm saying is that I've been saying in this country, our greatest gift is the free of the nation itself. And no one's been thrown under the bus more than me. I've been beat up by the African Americans, well, I'm going to the black Americans, and white, that's another. We need to cut all that crap out. And certain classes, I can't blame no one race for any one thing. A lot of people is beat up on me over the years, but I lived through it all. What I'm trying to say is, I forgive a lot of people committing even crimes and things against me. That's not what it's all about. You love your country. You put all of those personal things that are attached and that may have hurt you or whatever aside. Put nation first. We need to embrace this nation. Now, when me and my wife are celebrating our 5th anniversary, I had people from 4 different countries come right up to me and tell me, say, you know what, we see about, I didn't know I had a world audience. This is amazing. Well, anyway, the family from Scotland, I had to cut myself away from them. But the objective is that this country means so much to and when y'all have the swearing in, Mayor, you be here, and people from different nationalities come here to be sworn in this country, they're so proud to become citizens of the United States. And then people who are born here naturally, they take it for granted. Trust me, We don't need to do that. We need to love this place, embrace it, and be proud we are citizens of it, especially me, okay? I love it, and I'm going to always stand by it. I don't come down here talking about this guy and that guy a lot with you. I kick people when they need it, but I stand up front first. We are a great nation, and I have to say that.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave this for you, okay?
Thank you. That's for me?
And I'm going home.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, my name is Tim Murphy. I'm at 7900 Kiowa Circle. This isn't about that particular area or anything, but I also own property at 5680 North Jones. And under the 5-year plan review...
What's the cross street there?
Ann Road and Jones. On the 5-year plan review, we went in front of the county because it's a county island surrounded by the city. Because of the agreement within the city and the county, the homeowners over there, there's approximately 20 one-acre parcels that make that L shape at Ann and Jones. And we went in front of the board through the 5-year plan review. We passed all the tests except the situation where the city has to agree with the rezoning of that area to be office professional. We went through the Citizens Advisory Committee. No opposition from anybody. The county planning commissioners, no opposition there. Actually, Max Field was leaving office, so they put it in advance to September for our yearly review on it. But we came to an end because we can't come in front of you as a group where basically the city, Mr. Ross, took the position to deny that variance change. But we were never afforded the opportunity, and we don't know if there's an avenue that we can come in front of the whole board to make our presentation to you. We've got a freeway sitting in front of our properties that in excess of 18,000 cars a day go through there. It's no longer suitable for residential. Several of the people there have went in and tried to sell their properties. They were unsuccessful for trying to sell them totally. There has not been a house, I believe, sold on that particular L-shaped corner probably in the last 10 years. And we just would like the opportunity to come forward with our presentation to the city to at least have that opportunity, and we have no avenue to do that.
Okay, we're not allowed to take action, and to be quite
I
honest,
understand that.
I don't know the answer to your question, but...
I do, Your Honor.
You do?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
First, can I ask him a question?
Sure.
What freeway are you referring to
Well,
that you're next to at Ann Road and Jones?
Jones itself is 18,000 cars going through there, and Jones has become a major thoroughfare to the 215.
Jones
basically.
is a major arterial, 120-foot right-of-way, but it is certainly not a freeway.
Well,
because I live off of Jones.
I know you do.
Let me help the council understand.
And there's an accident on the corner there almost every day.
Thank goodness there's a traffic signal there, huh?
No.
Let me help remind you, Mr. Murphy, how that came about. And all of your residents in that neighborhood there's certainly a means to get them in here. And I would recommend annexation. You guys propose to the city that you would like to be annexed into the city. You can come before this board and state your case and make application anything you'd like to. However, be mindful, the County Commission has never approved commercial uses at Jones and Ann Road. The Commission and the Council said that these uses were not compatible with this area, and that it was a joint action. It just wasn't the Council or me. This happens to go through an interlocal process, an interlocal agreement process that the county and the city have had in place for quite some time, determining what uses are appropriate in what areas. 3 corners on that intersection are all residential. So for you to come to this board and say that residential is not appropriate there anymore has no merit in my mind. So that's where we're at. But you can certainly state your case to this board. I don't want you misleading this council or misleading the residents out there. You're in the county. It's a county issue until you annex, such time you annex into the city of Las Vegas, and then we'd certainly love to address the issue.
Okay, to kind of address that issue, I believe the requirements to annex into the city would be the sewer and water situation. Most of those areas that are currently developed are on wells. I'm probably the only one that has a property there that is hooked up to city water and sewer. The other surrounding areas that you're talking about residential, none of which have Jones addresses or Ann Road addresses that have to exit off of their property onto Ann and Jones.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm certainly not going to use this forum to discuss this. If you'd like to sit in my office and discuss this with me, I would certainly entertain that opportunity and look forward to it. I just want to make a comment as well. Because of that interlocal agreement, the county and the city have both deemed these uses in these locations as spot zoning, which we don't support at all as the city of Las Vegas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Right. Next, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council. Teddy Russell with Big
Excuse me, Mr. Russell, to interrupt you. Young ladies, are you being helped? Okay, stick around for a moment. I want to hear your observations, okay? Do you have a moment? Okay, that's more important. Get out of here. Mr. Russell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Council. Teddy Russell, the 5th resident of Las Vegas. Perhaps as a humorous aside, I used to work for Senor Rolando Loraz, and he does not like to appear on camera. He doesn't show up here. I think it's because he's wanted for murder in 1842 in Miami. The camera does put weight on him. However, on his good side, he's bought more than a few packs of cigarettes for me, although I loathe and despise the habit. I'm somewhat addicted. I wanted to mention that what I would like to see as far as redevelopment of the cultural corridor, I would like to see a pedestrian footbridge that would go from the Natural History Museum to the Las Vegas Library. I also wanted to say that we must be a little bit cautious of the word pride and self-approbation. From time to time, my sponsor finds the city more than a little vexing. The issue of the Cleveland Clinic is a super enormous blessing and a testimony to the good graces and mercy of God. That's all I have. Thank you so much and have a great day. It's a beautiful time of the year to visit Las Vegas.
Thank you. Anybody else like to be heard? Mr. Farlow, did you want to be heard?
Yes, thank you. Todd Farlow, 240 North 19th Street. Councilwoman Tarkanian, do you know why they withdrew items 80 and 81? I came to speak out for those. That was that inmate custodial thing up down there. Did they give you a reason for that?
No, they were working through neighborhood services because we had last meeting voted to not allow the building the way it is, and neighborhood services had been there citing it. So they notified neighborhood services and the clerk. They did not notify me, but they said they were not going to appeal it.
I see.
And I was also told by one of their representatives that they were going to build it smaller.
I see. Thank you very much. And Mayor, just one.
And by the way, I want you to know we just found out last night, I think.
Okay, thank you. I just want to comment the street redo down there on 3rd Street in Charlton. That's a beautiful job.
I appreciate you saying that, Mr. Farlow. You know, yesterday I made that same comment to Margot Wheeler, our Director of Planning, and she thanked me for it because she says it's so hard to get people to appreciate what is happening down there, but it's extraordinary.
That's beautiful.
The city did a great job on that. Great job. Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Are you an observer?
Yes, I am.
Why don't you step up here? I'll get you on TV. I'll make you into a star. Come on up. They're saying that you should have gone to pick up the sister, but what's your name?
My name is Emily Sandoval, and I'm here to observe for my Political 101 class.
What school?
CSN.
Good. Did you graduate from high school here?
No, I'm doing dual credit right now.
Say it again.
I'm doing dual credit, so it's my senior year as well.
Oh, okay, that's very good. Very good. What did you think of the meeting?
I liked it. I didn't understand some of the things, but I tried to catch up.
Okay, well, any questions we can answer for you, we're always happy to do that.
Okay, I was just asking, like, all these people are like coming to see whether or not they approve For their business or?
Basically for properties, they're basically zoning issues that we hear in the afternoon. You'd probably find the morning more interesting because we have policy issues that we go over. We talk about different projects that the city's doing, and it's a lot more interesting perhaps than, at least to somebody who doesn't have a property matter at hand. It's more interesting to be here in the morning. So why don't you try that? I think you'd like it better.
And when's the next meeting?
Then we do it the first Wednesday, and then the third Wednesday of every month.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's nice having you here.
Mr. Mayor, could I just ask your,
Sure.
what high school are you in getting the dual credit?
Mojave High School, I'm part of a program called Step Up.
And who's your professor at CSN?
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. It's nice that you're coming to see local government. It's the
Thank
closest to the people.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. All right, seeing no one else, we thank everybody, and the meeting's adjourned. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, council recognition. This is something that we instituted, and I always forget it. Pardon me. This is item number 90. Any member of the council who wishes to speak may speak under this portion of the agenda. Councilman Anthony.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to invite everybody to a great event that starts tomorrow night, the St. John Greek Orthodox Church Greek Food Festival. It starts tomorrow night. It's located at El Camino and Hacienda, which is just west of El Camino and Jones. The mayor and I are going to be out there tomorrow night at 6:30. We're going to issue a proclamation because it's the 37th year of this festival in our community, and it's attended by well over 40,000 people over the weekend. So it's tomorrow night from 5 to 10, Friday from 3 to 10 p.m., Saturday from 12 noon to 11 p.m., Sunday from 12 to 10 p.m., and come on out and have some great Greek food and listen to Greek music. And the mayor and I are going to be dancing Greek tomorrow night. We're going to try that.
I thought you said drinking Greek. What is this? What is this dancing Greek?
It was dancing Greek, but I want to invite everybody to come out and have a great time. Thank you.
Very good. Anybody else? Mayor
Yeah, sure.
Pro Tem.
Are they going to have any Jeannie Craig out there?
This is one weekend where you can eat and drink whatever you want. All the proceeds go to St. John's Greek Orthodox Church.
Thank you.
Very good.
I just want to make one quick comment about this gentleman sitting down here. Mr. Barlow, I really appreciate your doggedness, looking out for Ward 3. You do a fantastic job. I know that in the past there's been things happening at the City Council, and I just welcome you back today, and I appreciate what you do. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, anybody else?
Yes, sir.
Wilson?
It's hard to compete with the annual Greek Food Festival, but tomorrow night, what's that? I'm not bringing up, I'm going to get sued for this because tomorrow night, Thursday night, September 17th, is the annual Lakes Association homeowners meeting. And it's a great group of folks that live out at the lakes. The annual meeting is actually across the street at the Canyon Gate Country Club at 6 o'clock. I'm going to be out there making a little PowerPoint presentation and discussing a few topical items and subjecting myself to questions. So if you're a member of the Lakes community, you want to come out and visit, I'll be out there tomorrow night.
Very good. Council Barlow?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Mayor, you and I have the honor of having coffee and tea with residents on this coming Friday at the Grits Cafe. And a lot of residents are looking forward to it. And so we invite all the residents in Las Vegas to come out and hang out with the mayor and I from 8:30 until 10, as I understand, at Grits Cafe. Grits Cafe is located right near the corner of Stella Lake and Lake Mead. Major Cross Street is Martin Luther King and Lake Mead, but Grits is located on Stella Lake. So please come out and join us this Friday, September 18th. And also, Mayor, if you don't mind, I would like to congratulate my wife. On September 22nd, we will be married 2 years. I know you and your wife has just renewed your vows.
Right.
And I believe it was 48 years?
47 years.
47 years?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just want to congratulate her for putting up with me for 2 short years, but we're looking forward to making it to 47, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, you've already beat me, Councilman, because my wife said when she was hesitating about renewing the vows. She says, "Why should I do another 47 years with the guy? He only changed one diaper." And you've been changing diapers for the past 2 weeks. I understand that.
That is absolutely correct.
She didn't have anything else very nice to say about you either.
Nothing to say. Okay, the meeting's adjourned before we get in trouble.